Hey, I already know I said this before, but I just want to say thanks for the chat and for giving your contact details as well. I don't know if you believe me or not, but I was very serious when I said that I would love to talk with you again. I am studying French after all.
Don't worry. I'm in an especially nice mood today, so I figured I would give you a chance. Don't think I would do that all the time, though. I'm not as easy as any other girls you've been talking to.
Hey, come on, what are you talking about? Who said anything about me talking to other girls?
I know a little sweet talker when I see one. You don't think I noticed you talking to a couple of the other girls in that museum?
Look, I've got no idea what you're talking about. I think you might be confusing me with someone else. Like I told you, I was there with my friends. We were busy having a very good time together. You just happened to catch the corner of my eye, and I just had to approach you somehow.
Oh, really? 'Cause I could have sworn that there were eyes on me like a dog watching a bone swinging on a string. Whoever that was couldn't get their eyes off me. It was quite unnerving, if I'm being honest.
Well, you know for sure that's not me, right? I'm not the type of person to just sit back and glare at people. If I see someone I like, I'm gonna at least make some sort of attempt to talk to them.
I see. And how many times does this happen a day for you? Is this one of your favorite spots? Paying a $10 fee to get into the museum and trying to pick up some foreign girl?
Hey, well, I do come here quite often, but don't get me wrong, I enjoy coming here. If I was able to meet someone as pretty and special as you, then that's just an extra bonus in my mind.
Something tells me that you do this a lot more often than you're making it out right now. It was almost too easy for you to talk to me. It's almost like you've had a lot of practice.
That could be the case, who knows? Maybe I was just speaking from the heart. Oh wait, I remember this one. I was speaking from the cœur.
I think you mean the cœur.
Oh, yeah, sorry, that's what I meant to say.
Come on, you can stop with the act. You're not actually trying to study French, are you? Even a beginner would know the difference between the two words that we just talked about now.
Hey, come on, that's not true. I studied French in high school.
Okay, but when you met me, you said that you were studying at a university. You told me that you are a third-year student. I can only imagine two things. One is that you're an incredibly unintelligent student that is skipping the classes. Or there's the second possibility, that you don't even study French in the first place. You were just trying to use that as some sort of line to get me interested.
Wow, intelligent as well as beautiful. What else can you tell me about yourself?
I can tell you that I don't fall for guys like you that easily.
Guys like me? Handsome guys aren't your thing or something?
Little boys that think they are more funny than they actually are aren't what I go for. Especially ones that are all talk but nothing else.
Well, hey, give me a chance. Jane, you only gave me a couple of minutes of your time. There is still so much I can show you.
Well, I was giving you my full attention back at that museum, but you decided to leave me early. We only had a 5-minute conversation. If you wanted to show me who you really were, you would have stuck around a little bit longer. Instead, you went off and tried to talk to some other girls.
Hey, come on, that's not what I did. I told you I had class on.
Okay, the supposed French student had a class to go to. If you already lied to me once, why should I believe you again?
Because it's true, honestly. I mean, I may not be a French student, but I do go to university.
Oh, really? Is that so? Well, let me give you a test then. What are you studying exactly? Where is your university?
I'm going to Brown University. It's very close to that museum. Actually, I study IT there. Unlike French, I'm actually very good at it. I've been studying it for a long time, even when I was in high school. I'm at the top of my class.
Oh, really? I wonder if this is true, or if this is just something that you think I want to hear.
Well, what if I told you that it was both?
Then I might be semi-interested in who you might actually be. But let's face it, It's obvious that you're lying to me right now. If you had a class, why are you texting me?
Well, what can I say? I can't get you out of my head. Getting to know you is a little bit more exciting than learning how to run some obscure program that my lecturer is teaching right now. What about you? What am I distracting you from?
A very boring man that doesn't have much to say but continues to talk to me at the bus stop.
Wow, really? 2 times in one day? You must get this a lot. I only started talking to you a couple of minutes ago.
Well, having a conversation with me is kind of like a car park spot right at the front of the shopping mall entrance. If it's available, you're going to try and get it as soon as possible. I'm the type of girl that guys talk to the moment she's free from another guy's clutches.
Wow, and I'm guessing that's what she considered our little conversation today? Was I putting you through some sort of torture?
Despite your cheesy way of trying to talk to me and your obvious display of false confidence, I thought you were kind of cute. I can see that there's a nice guy behind that arrogant little smile of yours.
Sounds like someone can read me quite fast. Imagine what's gonna happen when we're 2 years into our relationship. We won't even need to have a proper conversation because you should be able to read my mind at that point.
Who said anything about us having a 2-year relationship?
No one did, but it's quite clear that that's the direction we're heading for.
I thought I told you at that museum that I'm a tourist. I'm only here for a couple of weeks. I don't do long-distance relationships.
Neither do I, and I also know that you're going to be here for a lot longer than a couple of weeks. I just want to warn you that you should probably change that little line of yours. If you keep telling people that you're going to leave in a couple of weeks, they're probably going to get angry at you. Especially when it's so obvious that you're living in this country.
Okay. And how have I made it obvious? My French accent is pretty good, no?
Well, when you pulled out your phone to exchange contact information with me, you had your driver's license out in the open. It was on the back of your phone case. I only took a glance at it, but I was able to catch all the things that I need. It looks like you've had that license issued to you about 5 years ago. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds like someone that is here to stay.
You're too perceptive for your own good. I swear you would have only had a quick glimpse of that thing. Not enough to take a look at all that information.
What can I say? I'm a guy that can do it all. Sweet talking a beautiful woman isn't my only skill. Stick along for the ride and you'll find out more.
What a funny boy. But you never know what's gonna happen. Sure, I'll admit that I've been living here for a long time now, but I'm the type of girl that gets bored very easily. I'm probably gonna head back to France. You could wake up one morning and I'm not even there. Are you sure that's the type of person that you want to have a relationship with?
Look, you don't need to be worried about that. I don't waste my time thinking about things that aren't gonna happen. Especially when I'm gonna be too mysterious and alluring for you to leave.
Where does all this confidence come from? You do get the picture, don't you? I'm trying to reject you right now. I'm just one girl. How about you go on and find someone else? Go back to that museum. I'm sure you can find plenty of pretty French girls. Those ones might actually fall for your little lines.
I have a better suggestion. How about you come out to dinner with me?
I don't date boys that I don't know.
Okay, well, how about you come out to get to know me? Either way, I don't want you to be regretting your decision later on in life. I don't want you looking back and thinking, man, I wonder what that guy was like. Maybe he was really the one for me.
I also don't want to be looking back and regretting my life. Who knows what could happen? Maybe I'll be thinking, I can't believe that I went out with that guy. He was an absolute jerk. I should have known that he was doing that type of thing to every girl that he sees.
Hey, well, look, I'm not in any rush or anything. Just take it slow with me. It doesn't have to be a race until we get to know each other. We can take our time.
Okay. Well, how about you just ask me a couple of questions instead of trying to sweet talk me this whole time?
My bad, my bad. I was just testing the waters, making sure not to tread on your toes. So, what is your story anyway? I don't get the feeling that you've lived in France your whole life.
Seems like you're very good at greeting people. You're smack bang on the money about that one. I moved to America when I was in high school. As it happens, my mother is American, which is why I can speak English at the level that I can now. My father is the one from France.
Well, that's a really interesting situation. It's kind of like us, isn't it? Except the other way around. I wonder if your father did the same thing and chatted with your mother in a museum.
From what they told me, she was the one that chatted to him. She was there on an exchange program. She wanted to taste a different culture, learn about different people, maybe challenge herself in some way. She was actually someone interesting and had layers to her. Unlike the guy snooping around the museum, wasting time.
Hey, come on, you don't know that yet. I could be a really interesting guy for all you know.
Sure you are. Unlike you, she actually studied the language. You're trying to recall whatever fragments that you remember from high school. Let me tell you now. I volunteered in a couple of high school programs to come into French class. I know what levels they're at. I have to say that the type of French that you were using with me today was really, really poor.
Well, what can I say? I guess I better just be honest about me not being that great at French. Not to say that I'm not a smart guy or anything, I just didn't apply myself in that class that much. I didn't see the utility in learning it, and I just wanted to work on my IT stuff instead. Little did I know I'd be meeting a French woman later on in my life.
I see. So that's your big dream, is it? You want to be some sort of IT specialist?
Well, yes and no. First, I want to develop enough confidence in my IT ability. After that, I want to open up my own company. I want to be managing a whole army of IT specialists.
I see. So you're a big dreamer.
That's right. I like to think about the biggest scale. What more can I do? I've been doing this type of thing for a long time now. I think I can do a lot more if I don't restrict myself to that position.
Sounds like you're a guy of ambition.
Well, what can I say? There are two things I'm chasing after right now. Opening up my own IT company is one of them, and I guess the second thing would be you. Anyway, that's enough about me. I want to know about you. What type of dreams are you chasing after?
Well, the things that I'm interested in are simpler than opening up an IT company. I have this vision in my head, and I'm not really sure how feasible it is, but it just sounds so lovely to me. I just imagine being in a house that I own. Nothing super fancy. Nothing that would bewilder anyone, but it's just mine. It's a place just for me and my family. In that place, I would be taking care of everything. Everything would be in order. The husband isn't home yet. He's working really hard. He's doing his best to make sure the kids can go to a great private school. I want them to be as fantastic as he is. I'm there cooking dinner with the windows open. I can hear everything going on outside. Faintly, but surely, I can hear the sounds of youth and laughter in the distance. It grows louder and louder until I can hear it on my front doorstep. Those would be my children coming home from school. They're bringing their friends over to do homework and to bond with each other. I can't really put a name to what my dream is, but this is what I'm chasing after.
Wow, you're just like your mother, aren't you?
What's that supposed to mean? You don't even know my mom.
Well, hey, I'm just saying this based on what I do know about her. You said that your mom has layers, right? You do as well. I mean, I wasn't expecting such a heartwarming dream behind all those pretty faces that you make.
Yeah, well, I can tell you're somewhat of a decent person. So I don't mind opening up to you.
Well, you know what, Jane? I don't know about you, but I think we can learn a lot more about each other in person. We only just met each other, but how about I take you out to dinner next week? Make some room in your schedule?
How about you take me out tonight?
Tonight? I'm not so sure about that. I have class. It's quite important.
Hey, come on. It's one class. You were sitting there telling me that you're this great IT expert or whatever, working hard at what you do. Surely you can skip one class for me. Or is something else on your mind? Something I'm not worth wasting your time with? That's fine. If that's the way it is, I guess I'll just see someone else tonight.
You really know how to play a harsh game, don't you? Fine, I'll see you tonight then. But this is gonna be my way. I want you to dress to impress.
There has never been a day where I failed to do just that. Don't worry, you're going to like what you see.
Hey, Jane. You're not gonna believe what just happened. I just cannot believe the day has come to this. Do you know that car that you always let me borrow to get to and from work?
I sure do. Please don't give me any bad news right now. I've already had the worst day at work.
Okay, look, there is no way that I can sugarcoat this one. The car has been absolutely totaled. It looks crunched up like how my old teacher would crunch up a Coca-Cola can.
You've got to be kidding me right now. How could you do that? How could you do that to my car? What are you doing out there? I should have known that you were a horrible driver.
Hey, look, don't look at me for this. It's not exactly my fault. We were stuck in traffic, and I'm not sure what the guy behind me was doing. Maybe he just wasn't paying attention. I think his head was off into space or something. I could see in my rearview mirror, he was coming at me at full speed and looking like there was no chance of him stopping. He smashed right into me and crunched up the car from the back and the front. The car in front of me got a good deal of damage as well.
No, not my car!
The tow truck is on its way, and they want to know where to tow the car. I think we should just get it straight to the mechanic so that they can get to work on it. It's gonna save us money later, instead of having it towed to the house. I know a couple of mechanics from when I was a teenager and had my own car, but I'll be honest. They weren't the best and they cost a fortune. You wouldn't happen to know any good ones, would you?
I can't believe this. It's one more ethic on top of all the other ethics that we have. Okay, look. I know a guy, but I'm not sure I want to ask him.
Is he good? How cheap is he?
Look, he's the cheapest I can get. I'm pretty sure he's going to do it for free. Not only that, but he's the best of the best.
Are you kidding me? A guy that will do it for free? Who is he? Some ex-boyfriend of yours or something? Does he still have lingering feelings for you? Anyway, look, I don't care who it is. I am not covered under the insurance to drive this car. This one has to come out of your pocket, so whoever this guy is, I want him.
We can't. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry? What did you just say? Why can't we? You just said that he's gonna do it for free, right? He's the best that you know. What is so bad about getting him to do it?
Look, have I ever told you what my father does?
I'm not so sure, to be honest. We've had a long conversation about what your mother is into, but I'm not really clear on what your dad does.
Okay, well, the thing is, my father is a mechanic. It was one of the easiest jobs for him to get into when he came here. He knew his way around a car, and it doesn't require a lot of speaking. Well, he's good at speaking now, but not back then. The main thing with that job is just knowing what to do.
Okay, well, this is amazing. You've actually got family that can fix cars. How could this be an issue? He'd be more than happy to help you out, right?
Yes, but what am I going to tell him? He bought that car for me. It's very special. He's not going to be happy that I lent the car off to some guy.
Whoa. What do you mean, just some guy? Is that how you're considering me? I thought I was the person that's been dating you for the past 2 years. Now I'm just some guy?
Oh, wait, come on. You know what I mean. Don't take it harshly or anything. It's just how we would view you. Obviously, I view you as the guy that I'm dating and someone that's super close to me. But to my dad, any boy is danger.
Okay, I'm guessing he's the protective type or something?
You could say something like that. He's a really special type of guy. I'm not sure if letting him know that I have a boyfriend is the best move to make right now.
Are you serious? I mean, how old are you now? We're in our 20s. Is he gonna sit there and babysit you for your whole life? Doesn't he want you to find someone to devote yourself to? Does he want you to develop some sort of independence? Actually be an adult? I mean, if he wants any of that, he's gonna let you free, don't you think? I don't think it's a good idea to raise a daughter and just let her be protected from any sign of danger.
Hey, look. You don't need to give me that lecture. I know it. I've been trying to tell him that type of thing my whole life. I guess it has something to do with the family structure that we have.
What do you mean, the family structure?
Well, the thing is, my mom was really good at producing boys. We got a large family of them. But the last person she gave birth to was me.
A girl born into a family comprising mostly of boys. I can see the picture more clearly now.
As you can expect, my mom is already old and doesn't need taking care of. But me being the youngest and also of the opposite gender, people felt like they had more obligation to look out for me. And it's kinda my fault if I'm being honest. It's been this way my whole life. My brothers would sort out bullies at the school for me. When I was in high school, I wasn't actually able to date anyone until they left the place. Everyone was too scared to even talk to me because they knew the reputations that my brothers had.
It sounds like these guys are tough.
Oh, they were. They would harass guys for merely saying hello to me. It took a long time to convince them that a simple hello was nothing. Not only that, they respected my dad. They took pride in the type of work they do. My dad now owns his own mechanic store, and all of his sons work there helping him. They earn a very good living from it.
Okay, well, I don't know about you, but this seems like all the more reason just to get them to take care of the car. I mean, they care about you, right? They want to make sure you're doing the best that you can, and that you have the resources to do so. Why wouldn't they help you in this type of situation?
Oh my god. You just don't get it. I don't want them to find out about you. At least not yet.
What do you mean, not yet? When were you planning on them finding out? I mean, we're living together, right? We've been living together for a whole year now. What have you been telling them?
As far as they know, it's just some share house with a bunch of girls. They don't think I'm actually living with a guy. I don't know what they would do if they found out.
Are you kidding me right now? You're acting like there's some vicious killers or something. What are they gonna do? Grab one of the wrenches from their garage and just whack me over the head with it?
Look, they're really protective of me. You have to understand. I've never been in a situation like this before. I could barely just talk to a guy in high school without my brothers doing something about it. Now I'm actually living with a guy.
This day just gets worse and worse, doesn't it? I mean, I thought the car was a bad thing. Now you're telling me that your family would actually kill me? And for doing what? Something as simple as dating you? It's just ridiculous. It is just so ridiculous.
I know. You have every right to be frustrated with me.
You don't think you could have maybe told me that you had a crazy family beforehand?
What are you saying? That if you knew something like this would happen, you wouldn't date me or something?
Well, I don't know. It's pretty important, to be honest. I mean, I love you, Jane. I really do. Every day I think about the time I met you in that museum and what a good decision it was. At the time, maybe I would have refrained from living with you. I would have met these people first. Now I feel like I've trespassed on some ground that I shouldn't have.
Look, I'm sorry.
Okay, fine. So I guess we don't have a choice, do we? We're gonna have to find a different mechanic. This is not gonna be good. I mean, the people that I know would probably make it worse than actually make it better. You would probably be safer riding your little tricycle down the street than driving the car after they're done with it.
Well, look, you know what? Don't worry. We don't have a choice. I'll have to talk to my dad. I'll have to tell him everything.
Are you sure you want to do that? That is a big decision you're making there. Who knows, you might wake up to your boyfriend with his head bludgeoned in. Are you prepared for something like that to happen?
Okay, look, listen to me right now. I promise you that nothing like that's gonna happen. I'm gonna keep my dad on a short leash. I'm gonna make sure that he understands where I'm coming from. The guy that I'm dating right now is the guy I want to be with the rest of my life. He's done nothing to hurt me. He's nothing but a good guy. no matter what my dad thinks and what prejudices he might have against him.
Okay, well, let's just hope that your persuasive skills are good enough. Jane, I don't know about you, but I think I'm gonna sleep with an implement next to my bed tonight. From the way you're describing it, these people are way too protective of you. Give me the address for this mechanic and I'll get it towed there. Can you message him in advance for me?
Sure thing. Oh my god. He's gonna be so mad at me. I'm not gonna hear the end of it.
You get out here. You get out here right now. What are you doing in there? I know you live here. My daughter gave me the address to the place where she's living. You and I need to talk right now. You either open the door or I'm breaking it down. Don't you hear me out here screaming at you? Don't act like you can't hear me. I am very clear on who I am and what I am doing here. Look, with that attitude that you're giving me right now, there is no way that I'm gonna let you into this house. You're clearly out here for blood. I don't want any dramas with you. I haven't done anything wrong. Don't talk to me about doing anything wrong. My daughter has told me everything. Has she really, though? I don't think she's actually told you what's going on here. Well, she told me enough. You sneaky little viper. You thought you could have your way with my daughter, didn't you? You thought you could do whatever you want with her without my permission. I am going to make you regret that, boy. Which room are you in? Tell me the window. I am not telling you anything. You know what? Can you keep it down out there as well? If I can hear you banging on that door, it means my neighbors can hear you too. I have some decency. You're gonna wake them up. I don't care if I wake up the damn president. I am here on very important business. Anyone would understand a father's feelings towards his daughter. What exactly is the problem here? I mean, sure, I'm dating your daughter. We live together. But is it such a bad thing? Do you think I'm here hurting her or something? Do you think that I'm abusing her? I haven't done anything wrong. You are taking this way out of proportion. You're in over your head. How about you just go home and cool down? This isn't the way that I want to be meeting my father-in-law. What did you just say? You did not just call me your father-in-law. I'd rather go to hell than call you my son. How could you even say that? You don't even know who I am. I could be the nicest guy on the planet. You and I could get along really well. You find out that your daughter is dating someone and you already take this super hostile attitude? Do you have any idea how dangerous that is? What if you turn away a guy that is really good for her? That is a load of crap. There's no guy that is good for her unless I say he is. I cannot believe the nerve of that girl. I have said to her whole life, if she wants to be with a man, she has to go through me. I need to put him through the ringer first. If he can show me that he's madly in love and devoted to my daughter, then fine. I'll let them do whatever they want to do. But until that time, he's got to prove himself. What is that even supposed to mean? How about you explain to me the exact process of what would have happened for me to date your daughter? Do I really have to explain to you? What is with this young generation? They don't understand anything, do they? All they know how to do is tap away on those little phones of theirs. Okay, I'll have to explain it to you like I'm talking to some imbecile. So first, my daughter approaches me with a person that she is interested in. I'm going to hear her case of why he is a good man. From that point on, him and I are going to spend a lot of time with each other. I need to know how he works, the way he thinks, his intentions with my daughter. Okay, and how does your daughter come into play here? When do I get to see her? You get to see her when I say you get to see her. Okay, are you telling me that for this whole time I'm not allowed to see her at all? Of course not. You cannot be trusted. After I deem you to be a worthy person, then I'll let you go on some dates. I will be the one that arranges them. I'll give you the places, the times, and the clothing she gets to wear. I will be controlling everything. I'll be contacting you every hour, knowing what you two are up to. I'll make sure to get an ETA on the time that she gets home. You know what? Sometimes I'll even send a detective to watch what is going on. Are you kidding me right now? You're actually gonna send a detective to watch how our dates are going? I'm sorry, but this is just borderline insane. How is your daughter or the person that she's on a date with gonna feel comfortable about this? And why do you have the detective there anyway? I'm making sure that you know your boundaries. I don't want you to get too intimate with my daughter. I'm trying to protect her body. You're trying to protect her from what? What do you think I'm gonna do? Start feeling her up in public? I'm sorry, what was your name again? I can't exactly call you Dad, can I? My name is Elliot. Okay, Elliot. Connection and passion are important for the dating process. I mean, even you must agree with that. You come from France, right? Don't you remember having these exact same experiences? From what I hear, your wife is American. You're telling me that when you two were getting to know each other, you didn't want to touch her or to feel her? Look, what happened between me and my wife is different from how I treat my daughter. I know what men are like. I know the way you just like to use a girl for her body. I've been your age before and I remember it vividly. I know boys like to use girls. Well, I'm not going to let you use my daughter. How about you just have your fun with someone else? Leave my daughter out of it. How could you say that to me? You act as if that's my intention this whole time. Do you even realize how long we've been dating? If I wanted to have fun with your daughter, I think I would have gotten bored a long time ago. Are you seriously gonna turn away a good guy just because you've just met him? I already know that you're no good. I mean, what type of a person would date another man's daughter and say nothing about it? You have no intention of meeting the parents. To me, that sounds like a guy that is trying to hide something. He's trying to hide how despicable he is. We all know that he is up to something. Hey, the only reason why I haven't met you so far is that I have been incredibly busy. I am telling you now, the 2 years with your daughter have moved very, very fast. We both have our own dreams. She's working and I'm trying to open up my own business. This type of thing isn't easy to accomplish. Of course, meeting you has crossed my mind many times, and I've even brought it up in conversation. But your daughter has been very reluctant to talk about her family. It's not until yesterday, when the car got totaled, that I actually had a conversation about you. That's another thing that you and I need to talk about. To think that you have the audacity to destroy my daughter's car like this. Do you know that she's had that thing since she was in the high school? That was a very special gift from me to her. She was meant to take care of that thing, not give it to some hooligan that doesn't even have his license. What did you just call me? Yeah, you heard me. You're just some clown sitting behind the wheel. What a load of crap. I've been driving a car longer than your daughter. Do you actually think that the accident yesterday was because of me? Of course I do. Do you know how many cars I get coming into my shop? I can pretty much predict what type of accident happened. I'm sure my daughter has talked about my shop and the expertise of myself and my sons. Of course, she says that you guys are the best. You managed to create yourself a very successful business. I even hear that you've opened up garages in different areas for your sons to manage. You only do that type of thing if your skill is very good. Yes, well, your flattery is not going to do you any good. All I need to know is that you know how good we are. I looked at that car, and I knew for an instant. This looks like the type of damage that a drunk, good-for-nothing teenager would do. Let me ask you now, what was your name again? Harry. Did you ever grow up since you graduated from high school, Harry? How could you sit behind the wheel intoxicated? How many times have you done this? Have you ever done it with my daughter in the same car as you? I'm sorry, but this is just way too amazing for me to believe. Are you all there, Elliot? I mean, do you actually think that I was drunk driving just because you looked at the car and it looked a certain way? That has got to be the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. The car was crushed from behind and the front. What could you possibly read from that? You can't tell if I was drunk driving or not. You don't know that. You may as well call me the car whisperer. I can just understand these things. It's not only that, I watch from the way you talk and try and defend yourself. I can tell that you're some dirtbag that would drink with my daughter in the car. You don't care for her safety. You do not care what happens to you two. Hey, Elliot, you better calm down. Because if you keep trying to push me past my limit, I might actually come out there and do something about it. Well, how about you come out here and do it then? Do you think I'm backing away from a fight? I bet I could take you. I know what you young men are like these days. You're as soft as a brioche. I'm sorry, a what now? A brioche. Anyway, look, I'm not here for a fight. I don't want the first encounter that we have to be aggressive. I never pictured the day that we meet that it would be a circumstance like this. Believe it or not, I want to get along with you. All I'm asking is that you give me the appropriate respect. I haven't said anything to disrespect you, and I don't want you to say anything to me. You don't get the right to tell me about that. You've already disrespected me. You've been seeing my daughter behind my back. I mean, just how dare you? How dare you do something like that? I get it. You're angry. Maybe you're right. I should have talked to you before I met your daughter and did this. You can't blame me for this, though. She didn't tell me anything about your customs. I didn't know that you wanted to meet the son first. I don't want to put the blame on your daughter, but she didn't tell me anything. If I was aware, I would have made it my first priority to see you. But you know what? Things are the way they are now. Your daughter and I have dated for 2 years. It's been a healthy and stable relationship without your supervision. All this crazy talk about you monitoring the date and controlling when she gets home is not necessary anymore. Is that what you really think? You think I'm just going to let you have your way with my daughter? Hey, look, I'm sorry, but she's already made her decision. She didn't need your judgment. She knows that I'm a good person. In fact, we've been thinking about getting married. We've had this discussion many times. That's why I called you father-in-law before. Ugh, you have got to be joking. So you went off and made this decision without consulting me? Never in my life did I think that my daughter would date someone this disrespectful. Well, it is what it is. I'm the one that she's chosen. You can do 2 things. You can sit out there and hate me forever and do whatever you can to try and get to me. Or you can just accept that I'm the one your daughter wants to be with, and you and I can start to get along with each other. I know you want to fight. I'm not going to give it to you. I am just going to call the police and have you escorted away from here. I might even get a restraining order if I need to. Is that the path that you want to go down? If it means I retain my dignity, why not? You have disgraced my daughter. I have no idea what you and her have been getting up to in this house. Who knows what could have happened in the past 2 years? Maybe you've even gotten to second base. How am I supposed to know? Okay, well, let's not dive into that territory. If I tell you honestly what's happened these past 2 years, you're not going to be very happy about it. What? What the hell have you done? That's it. I'm getting my tools and I'm getting this door wide open. My daughter is going to have a lot to clean up after I'm done with you. Just settle down, Elliot. You need to stop getting so emotional about this. Here's what I'm thinking. As much as you want to be the tough guy and try to bash me up, I don't think you actually want to go to prison. It's not healthy for us to have this type of relationship with each other. So that only leaves us with one other option. We're gonna have to do our best to get along. This is just ridiculous. You are my enemy. Why the hell should I get along with you? Well, if you love your daughter, that's the best thing for her. Do you think she wants her family having bad relationships with her boyfriend? That's the worst thing that could happen to her. So what I think you should do is go home now and cool off. Go eat a baguette or something. What? You think just because I'm French that all I eat is baguettes? You salope. Insult me in French as much as you want, it doesn't faze me. Enjoy your morning, calm down, and then message me again. We are going to arrange a date for us to meet and get to know each other. Who are you to tell me what to do? Do you think I have to listen to what you say? If you have any intention of making your daughter happy, you will. Now, there's one thing I'm going to thank you for, and that's waking me up this morning. You've made for a very good alarm clock. Sometimes I sleep in and I have to rush to get to work, but I don't have to do that today. Now, I want to hear you get into that car and drive off. Let's do what we have to do today, and then arrange for a time and place to meet. Don't think I am happy about this arrangement. We will arrange for a time and place, but what I do there is not up to me. I don't know how I'm going to feel the moment I see the man that has been using my daughter up until this point. Well, if that's the attitude you're gonna have, I'm afraid your daughter's never gonna find anyone. She's gonna grow up old and alone. One day you're gonna pass away and she's gonna have no one there to protect her. Anyway, with all that aside, it was very nice to meet you, Elliot. Have a good day.
Hey, Harry! What's taking you so long? You were meant to be here an hour ago. You were going on about trying to give my dad a good impression, and I'm telling you right now, this isn't doing a good job of it.
I know, I'm late, but look, it's not my fault. I'm not used to this type of thing. I've never had to do this before.
You've never had to do what? Meet a parent before? Honestly, you're thinking too much about this. It's not as scary as you think. I know my dad talks the way he does, but he just wants you to be on time. Can't you do that for me? Please? Why can't you get here?
Because I'm still trying to bake the bread, aren't I?
What did you say? You're trying to bake bread? Since when have you been making bread?
Well, since last week, I guess. Your dad is French, right? I'm pretty sure he would appreciate a nice loaf of bread or something.
Oh no. You did not just say that. Look, that is the worst way to try and get on my dad's good side. I mean, he's French, but his standards for bread are quite high. If you give him something that's crap, he's probably going to look down on you even more for it.
You're kidding me right now. You're telling me that he wouldn't even appreciate the fact that I'm trying to do something for him? I am thinking about him. I thought that this would be a good gesture of me wanting to get along with him.
You've totally read him wrong, Harry. He's not that type of guy at all. He's only going to get more infuriated. God, I'm just on pins and needles. Who knows what's going to happen today?
You're telling me, after the way he talked to me the other day, do you think I'm excited to go see him?
Well, he's my dad at the end of the day. I wish you could show some level of enthusiasm.
Jane, this is the man that came to our house and tried to kill me. This is the man that finally left our home, but left a turd on our front doorstep. How am I meant to be enthusiastic about that?
Oh, come on. We already had this conversation. That could have been anyone. It was probably some dog walking by that decided to do his business there.
It was smack bang right in front of our door. Don't try and tell me that it wasn't your dad. It's just way too obvious.
Well, regardless, you might get along. Just persist through this. Give each other a chance. Get excited to be a part of my family.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited. Couldn't think of an even better day. Maybe he's gonna come beat me up with the tools that he brought from the garage. You know what? I don't know how you expect today to go. With the way that he talked to me the other day, I'm not sure what I can do to impress him. Like, let's face it, if he's gonna get angry at me, even if I go out of my way to make bread for him, then what else can I do?
Well, I guess authenticity is the thing that counts the most. Just be yourself. If you weren't yourself, I wouldn't have got along with you that day. And I'm pretty sure my dad's gonna be the exact same.
But you just don't understand the situation, do you? Jane, he's already predisposed to hate me. It doesn't matter how much of an amazing dude I am. He still thinks I'm a piece of crap that's been hiding behind his back.
Well, you could have stepped forth and said you wanted to meet my dad. That would have gone a long way, you know?
Are you kidding me right now? How about you tell me that your dad was very sensitive about this type of thing? I would have gone out of my way to meet him way earlier if I had just known. But you know what? All that doesn't matter. I guess it is what it is. We're just gonna have to accept what's gonna happen today. I'll be on my best behavior if you do your best to keep him in line. If he starts insulting me, I don't know what I'm gonna do about it.
This is just making me so nervous. I hope things are going to go well. He's sitting here really annoyed about the fact that you're late. Hey, can I ask you something, Harry?
Sure, anything to make me feel better about having to do this today.
Okay. Well, what I wanted to know is if you've been studying French ever since you've been dating me.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Wasn't that the whole reason you started talking to me in the first place? You started to get to know me and you found out where I was from. Then you started speaking French.
Okay, but I thought we already talked about this. The only reason why I did that was that I thought it would get me closer to you. I was using the French that I could barely remember from high school. You also said that I did a horrible job at it as well.
Okay, but you didn't think that would be a good idea to start learning French ever since you dated me? I mean, if you actually cared about me, you would try and speak with me in my native tongue, wouldn't you?
I mean, sure, but let's face it, you're already so good at English, Jane. Why would I have to go out of my way to do that?
Well, you know, it's just the extra effort that counts. It would be cool if you could learn even just a little bit every day.
This is strange. I don't know why you're bringing this up right now. This has something to do with your dad, right? You want me to speak French with him or something? Maybe we'll get along better that way?
Okay, look. I don't want you to get mad or anything, but my dad has done a full-on investigation into your past.
He's done what now?
Yeah. Look, he's really emotional about everything. He doesn't know whether to trust you or not. He wants to know every single thing about you. If I have to venture out on a guess, he's probably going to test you today. See how much you lie about things.
What are you talking about? You're telling me that he knows the truth about me or something?
That's exactly what I'm saying. You haven't contacted your mom recently, have you?
No, I haven't. I keep telling her that I'm busy. I don't have time to see her messages.
Okay. Well, that's probably a good thing then, because he managed to get in contact with her.
What did you just say? This guy is actually talking to my mom now? Oh, hell no. I'm not gonna put up with that. He better not have said anything against my mom, or I'm absolutely gonna lose it.
Hey, look, it's fine. He didn't do anything like that. He just wanted to know some things about you.
Like what? What is there to know about me? I'm going to meet him today. If he wanted to know me so badly, he could have just asked me. He doesn't have to do all of this sneaky stuff behind my back. I mean, who does he think I am? He treats me like I'm some villainous creature that's out here to harm you or something. I swear, if this stuff keeps up after today, I don't know how long I can deal with him.
Please don't say that, Harry. You know how much I love you, don't you? I'd date if we had to break up over something like this.
Well, I'm sorry, Jane, but you're kind of to blame for this as well. You should be the one that put your father in check this whole time. You're an adult now. The way I see it, you just keep bending to his will over and over. It reinforces the fact that he thinks that you should be taken care of. This is partially your fault.
Look, I accept that and I'm sorry. But trust me, I know this seems like a really big ordeal. But once we get over it, we're gonna look back and think, man, that was kind of funny. I mean, when you get to know my dad, he can be pretty cool. It just takes a long time to get over his barriers.
Yeah, I don't know. Just how cool is a guy that has to go to this extent to investigate me? I mean, what exactly does he know about me now?
Well, nothing too serious. I think just a lot of basic things like where you go to school and what you do for work. He knows that you've taken French. He knows the type of grades you got for it.
Okay, and I'm assuming the fact that you're bringing this up means it's important?
Well, he found it very peculiar that you studied French. He thought there was a link between that and you talking with me. Let's just say that he wasn't too impressed when he saw your grades for it.
Come on, are you serious right now? He looked at my grades for French? Could he not have looked at anything else?
He did. And that's why he feels so insulted. It seems from your grades that you got really high marks for things that weren't French. Anything from math to science to English. The grades were incredibly high. Some of them even got top of the class. The only class that you failed was French, and he's very curious as to why that is.
Okay, well, you know about this, right? French was the one class where I thought I didn't need to use the skills in it. It was a low priority class, and I had to invest myself in other subjects. During the French class, I was focusing on my computer skills. The teacher thought I was looking up new French words, but I was actually trying to learn about programming. I know from an outsider's perspective it looks pretty bad, but you have to understand. I needed some time to invest in the skills necessary to do what I'm doing right now, right? I can't be the perfect human after all.
Okay, I understand that. But I'm not sure if that little explanation is going to fly with him. I think he's going to look at you like you're some bad student, or maybe that you hate French culture or something.
Hey, come on, that is just total nonsense right there. That is not the case at all. It's just a matter of priorities. I mean, if I wanted to learn French, I could definitely do it. You and I both know that I'm not a stupid person. It just depends on where I apply myself. Unfortunately, I don't have the resources to apply myself to learn a second language. That type of thing takes a lot of time.
Are you sure about that, though? I mean, are you going to be able to record at least a couple of phrases in French today? I'm pretty sure he's going to put you on the test for that.
You have got to be kidding me right now. So that's the way he's gonna judge my character? Ugh, that is so unfair. How come he can't judge me based on other things? Does he expect every boy that dates you to learn French or something?
Look, I know it seems absurd, but just the fact that you learned French is really a downside in this situation.
I don't know, Jane. The more I have to talk about this, the more I feel like this isn't going to work out.
Okay, well, look, come on. Just let's get the day over and done with and just hope for the best. Maybe we're overthinking this. Maybe it's fine that you're really horrible at French.
What are you talking about me being really horrible? That's a little bit mean, don't you think? I think you said that I had pretty good pronunciation the day we met.
You didn't actually think I was serious, did you? You should have seen the way you were looking at me that day. I thought if I annoyed you with you in the littlest bit, you might lash out on me.
What? Are you kidding me right now? Is that honestly the impression that you got?
Well, look, I know that you're different, but I have to be on my guard. I mean, you're just the guy that came out of nowhere and started talking to me.
I have to say, Jane, I'm a little bit insulted. I didn't know that you were thinking about me that way. That kind of hurts, you know?
Yeah, well, maybe you should get better at French, and then I would have eased up a little bit for you.
There you go again. You really want me to learn this language, don't you? Alright, look, I'll get today over and done with, and then I'll think about taking some lessons. We got a little bit of money left over, and I can spare about an hour a day in learning it. Let's see how everything goes. How did today go, American boy, huh? What did you think of our great family? We're quite an interesting bunch of people, aren't we? I bet you were sitting there in confusion trying to understand what was going on. You didn't realize that my sister comes from a French family, right? Didn't you think it would be a good idea to learn French? I'm guessing that this is one of the brothers? Which one are you? This is Francis. Oh, I see. The big stupid one on the very end. I had a feeling one of you would contact me, but I didn't think it would be you. You better watch your mouth. You insult me, you insult my brothers. Do you want us to come crashing down onto you? I'm not scared of you or your brothers. I don't care how big you guys are. You try and do something to me and I'll contact the law. Oh, wow, you're so scary, aren't you? I bet my sister absolutely loves having you as a boyfriend. Wait, what am I saying right now? She's actually intending for you to be a husband. I wonder if she's okay with that. Did you brainwash her into something like this? The Jane that I know would never make such a stupid decision. Well, that just goes to show that you don't really know Jane after all. I will be marrying her, and she's gonna be happy with me. In fact, she was the one that proposed it. You can sit there and get all upset about it as much as you want. It doesn't bother me. I don't even know why you care about this in the first place. Like, this is your sister. Don't you have your own life to live? Why don't you get yourself a girlfriend? That way you can stop thinking about your sister all the time. She's not some little girl that needs to be protected by you. She's a grown woman that's capable of making her own decisions. When will you and that pig-headed father of yours understand that? Don't you dare talk about my father that way. How dare you disrespect him? I'll talk about him whatever way I want. Did you see the way that man behaved today? The way he looked at me? This was meant to be a friendly time for us to get to know each other. He didn't say anything rude to me because his daughter was there. But you can see things in the way he acts. You saw him there trying to serve my food, the way he violently scooped up the food and placed it on my plate. He treated me like it was food that he was giving to a dog. I don't need that. But there's also the way that he talks to me. I mean, I see the way that he gives me those facial expressions as he's talking in French. Don't try and lie and say that he's not insulting me. Well, maybe you should have tried harder in school to get better at French. That's on you. I don't feel sorry for your confusion right now. Even though I've done nothing wrong, that man doesn't respect me. So I'm not going to be returning any respect to him. You just don't know how this game works, do you? Do you think that you just have respect after doing nothing for it? You have to earn that type of thing. We're not the type of people that just give it out freely. We're very prideful. Every one of us has worked hard to be in the position that they're in. Have you guys really worked hard though? From the way I see it, none of you have started from the bottom. You haven't started from square zero and had to build anything. You're just riding off your father's coattails. How dare you say that about my family? Just because this is our dad's business doesn't mean that we didn't work hard for it anyway. I'm not like my brothers, am I? Didn't you notice there was something different about me? Maybe I did. I think you have a smaller brain than your brothers. Smaller and dumber. The most uninspiring out of all of you. You really think you are funny, don't you? I bet my sister loves listening to you and your stupid jokes. But let me tell you one thing, funny man. Your little jokes aren't going to fly with me. 1 minute I'll be laughing at whatever ludicrous thing you've said to me, and then you'll be passed out on the floor. Anyway, the thing that is different about me and my brothers should be obvious to you. All of us are prideful people. We work hard. We compete with each other to see who can be the best mechanic. Not only that, we compete in other areas as well. It doesn't matter if it's sport, working out, or making money. We always try to outdo each other. Isn't that amazing? Well, good for you guys. What do you want me to do? Sit here and give you guys a clap? By the way, from my perspective, you're losing that competition. Get over yourself. I'm telling you this for a reason. I'm different from my brothers in one way. I am a lot tinier than them. I do not do the type of things that they do. Sure, I can work my way around the car, but it's not the thing I'm chasing after. I can also spend a bit more time in the gym, but it's not for me. What I'm after is more of a legacy. Something off the beaten path. Something different from my brothers. Okay, and I wonder what that's gonna be. It can't be anything academic. I'm assuming you're just gonna become the first homeless that comes from your father's family? He's gonna be so happy with that. I fully support your decision. Maybe if he has a son that's so drastically worse than me, he'll start giving me a little bit more respect. How about you just keep your mouth shut before I start keeping it shut for you? The thing I want to do that is different from my brothers is get into business. Get into some big corporation. I think one of us needs to do it. Someone needs to have that type of experience. It might be beneficial at some point. Well, that is quite off the beaten path, isn't it? Your brothers are doing this hard labor right now, using the skills and knowledge that their father has given them. You're gonna have to go a bit more onto the educational side if you want to do something like that. Exactly. So here I am in university. I am studying business so that I eventually can start working. With my skill set, I should be able to work for some sort of international company, hopefully one that has a connection to France. I'll be able to utilize my ability to speak French, also my accumulated knowledge in business. It is much better than that stupid, miserable job that you do. I'm sorry, what did you say right now? Did you just call my occupation stupid? Sure, it is. I just don't understand it. Have you seen my sister? She can have any man in the world. I fully believe that she is a wonderful girl. She's got everything. She has an amazing personality and a face that you can wake up to in the morning. Well, sounds like someone's a little bit in love with their sister, doesn't it? Shut up. I am just stating this as a pure fact. There's no emotion involved in what I'm saying. I've seen so many men go up to her. Powerful men, beautiful men. These are people that are actually fantastic candidates for her. But here's the thing, I didn't even need to turn them down. She did that herself. She didn't find anything that she was interested in with them. Then some geek comes along that taps on his computer all day. What the hell is so intriguing about that? What is it about you that makes my sister so attracted to you? It plays on my mind all the time. I just have to know.
Well, I don't know who your sister has met in the past. From what I gather, there were a bunch of jerks, and there was nothing interesting about them. They were kind of like you and your brothers, actually. They were all just muscle and nothing on the inside. Maybe you should understand that girls like something a little bit more than what you just look like on the exterior. I, for one, found a way to make Jane laugh. She liked the way I talked.
I don't need advice from someone like you, computer geek. The only thing you know how to do is to make sure my Internet Explorer runs properly. That's it. That's all you're good for. What about me? What about my brothers? Take a look at what they're doing. They're mechanics. If they weren't there, how are people going to drive in their cars? Because me and my brothers exist, we're able to put everyone on the roads. We make sure they get to work, make sure they can live out their daily lives. That's a job that contributes to society.
What are you trying to say right now? You're actually trying to assert that what I do isn't important? That it's not helping people? I create the programs that people can use on their laptops. Anything that your father uses to calculate the sales in his business or to write documents is all because of people like me. That is not to say that I'm any better than you, but to say that I do nothing is pretty absurd, don't you think?
Who gives a damn at the end of the day? You're trying to say that you make programs that help people use their laptops a little bit more? All you're doing is making a society of keyboard clickers.
I'm sorry? What did you say?
Yeah, you heard me. All they do is just click on their little keyboard all the time. Tap, 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 tap. It is absolutely disgusting to see. Why don't people just get out there for once? Go to the gym or something.
Well, I don't know. Maybe because 90% of work these days are based on how to use a computer?
Well, if you ask me, people should be doing things the good old-fashioned way. Who knows what's going to happen after they sit there staring at those screens for the rest of their life?
I am absolutely speechless right now. I don't even know what to say to that.
Well, that doesn't surprise me after a day of being speechless. It makes sense that you don't understand what I'm saying right now either.
What is that supposed to mean?
I mean that your French is so bad that it makes me want to cry. I mean, you can't even say the most basic phrases. Shouldn't you be embarrassed with yourself?
Well, I mean, I don't know why I should at the end of the day. French isn't my main language, is it? If I was horrible in English, I'd feel a little bit ashamed of myself. But the fact that I can't speak a second language is not a big deal to me.
Yeah, well, you should think it's a big deal because let's face it, you have intentions of marrying my sister, don't you?
Of course I do.
Well, if that's the case, you better hit the books. From this point on, it's only going to be French houses, French friends, French food, French parties. Your whole life is going to revolve around being French. Don't you realize how important it is for you to know how to speak French?
Look, I get that. I totally do. I'm sure she has some more relatives that don't speak English. I'm not going to be able to get along with them unless I can speak their language. In the meantime, you and your father can speak English. Your brothers can also speak English. I thought it was extremely rude that none of you were speaking English today. How am I going to participate in a conversation if I don't understand what's going on?
Well, hey, maybe we didn't want you to participate in the conversation.
If that's the case, why the hell did you guys bring me out here? This was just a really stupid waste of time. Anyway, you know what? Fine, I get that you have a problem with me not being good at French. Your father also gave me an earful of it. He thinks that I'm some sort of French hater, even though I just prioritize my time onto something else. I'll appease you people. I'll learn the language you so ever want me to learn. But I want you all to just know this. I better get some level of respect from you. To learn a second language isn't easy, and I'm going really out of my way here. If this isn't a sign of me wanting to get along with my new family, then I don't know what is.
Yeah, whatever, little man. Just keep talking yourself up. There's no way someone as stupid as you is going to be able to learn French. Don't you realize how hard this language is? You have to be a well-refined and classy individual to speak a language like French. That is what we are. We're not like you slob Americans that eat hamburgers all day. Don't think that you'll be able to pick up this language just like that. You are going to have a hard time.
We'll see about that. Me and you are gonna have a talk soon, and it's gonna be in French. Elliot, what are you doing right now? I need you to message me. Something terrible has happened.
My daughter is nowhere to be seen.
She hasn't come home yet. I can't get through to her. Do you have any idea where she is right now? I wonder if something happened to her when she was coming home from work.
You took your time getting through to me. Do you care about my daughter at all? What if something happened to her? It would already be too late. That's another test of mine that you have failed. I wonder how long it's going to take until my daughter finally decides to divorce you.
You still haven't gotten it through to your head, Elliot, have you? Your daughter loves me. I am the man for her. She's made her decision. But look, this isn't a time to argue. We need to find out where she is. She hasn't come home all night. I'm thinking about putting out a missing persons warrant. I am so worried about her.
Stop getting all worked up, hamburger boy.
Hamburger boy?
Yeah, because you're American, right? You just love stuffing your face full of those huge hamburgers. Anyway, my daughter is going on vacation with me. We're all heading to France. We're gonna have a hell of a time.
Are you kidding me right now? How come no one told me about this? How come she didn't tell me about this?
Well, this is kind of something that we just sprung on her out of nowhere. You see, it's the weekend. It's a long weekend. We've got a couple of days to spend here in France. We told her to cancel whatever plans she had for the weekend to just come with us. Get in touch with her original culture. Remember what her people are like.
Okay, fine, but how does she feel about this? I mean, I'm not even there. Why didn't you guys invite me?
Well, why should we invite you? This is France that we're going to. You can't even speak our language.
That's not true. You all know that I'm studying, don't you?
For nothing, though. You may as well squint at a rock and tell me how many little microcells you can see. There's a better chance of you doing that than being able to speak our language. My sons and I have already made an assessment of you. You're just not capable of doing something like this. Why don't you just give up and go back to staring at your computer screen?
I can't believe you guys would do something like this. What does Jane have to say about this? Surely she can't agree with what's going on?
Well, we all knew that she wouldn't come along unless she knew you were there. We told her that you were the one that arranged everything. You're in France right now, waiting for us to arrive.
What are you going to do when she gets there and realizes that I'm not there? Did you think about that?
Of course, she's going to find out the truth when we get there. But let's face it, she's already going to be too excited to have fun that she's not going to care about it at all.
You think you're so smart, don't you? You honestly have no intention of making me part of this family.
Haven't I been clear about that already? Of course I'm not. I'm hoping that she can actually find a very good man here in France. Someone that can actually speak her language. She might not say anything, but I can tell you now. She's probably very embarrassed to have to eat dinner with a man that just greases up his face with hamburgers.
What are you talking about? I don't even eat that food. How about you just get to know me before you make these stupid assumptions?
Hey, look, I'm a very busy man. You know how busy I am with my shops, don't you? We've got cars coming in every day. I don't have time to waste on a lost cause.
You know what? Speaking of which, I need to talk to you about that car. I got one of your sons to do it. But are you sure that this thing is okay? The car makes these weird noises all the time, and I can hear something rattling like something's gonna break off. I think you guys need to check that thing again.
Well, you really got some nerve.
If you actually think you can insult me by telling me to do the job a second time, that's not who we are. We are French. We do this to perfection. I have my reputation on the line. There is no way I'm going to do a second job twice. As far as I know, this is some ploy for you to insult my family. You actually want to say that one of my sons did a bad job? Well, they've learned from the best. There's no one that knows their way around the car like me. I have full confidence that they've done a proper job and you're just being spiteful right now.
Look, that is not the case at all. I just want to drive around in a car that I feel safe in. Honestly, I've driven it home once and I haven't driven it since. Whatever you've done to the car is scaring the hell out of me. I feel safer trying to cross a highway on foot.
You insolent little man. You know what? I'm not going to give you the time to continue disrespecting me. Our flight is going to be taking off soon. Oh, and would you look at that? My daughter is coming to us with the coffees. She looks so excited for this trip. Who knows? Maybe we can go to France and she will stay there. She won't ever come back to you.
Oh, shut your mouth, Elliot. You really have no intentions of being close with me. Well, fine. We can play that game if you want. Hey, Harry. I know we've already finished the lesson, and I'm messaging you outside of hours. I just wanted to say a couple of things. Your progress has been astounding. I've never met someone who could learn the language this fast. I mean, usually people take time to adjust to the new sounds. Their throat needs to operate in a certain way, and their tongue needs to move in a certain way. You've managed to master that type of thing from the onset. I'm telling you right now, you are one of the best students I've ever had. What's your secret? You can't possibly tell me that this is your first time learning? Well, looks like you caught me out. Not that I was trying to hide it or anything. I've actually learned a lot of French when I was in high school. I wasn't paying attention to the class, though. I had to focus on my IT skills, something that I was very passionate about, as you already know. The fact that you weren't too enthusiastic about the class is kind of weird. If you didn't want to do it back then, what's made you want to do it now? Let's just say that I'm in a very special circumstance with my family at the moment. There's a woman that I love with all my heart. I can't imagine myself being with anyone else but her. The only problem is that her family has an irrational hatred for me. I figured if I learned some French, they might be able to respect me a lot more, but it hasn't turned out that way. Well, I'm sorry to hear that something like that is happening. I don't know what they could possibly hate about you. You know what? It's not even worth me going into. If you knew that learning French wasn't going to impress them, then why did you keep doing it? I mean, to get to your level requires a very high level of study. Be honest with me. You've been putting in a lot of effort outside of the class, haven't you? I sure have. In every little spare time I have, I'm trying to absorb as much French as I can. I'm watching TV, listening to podcasts, reading as much as I can. I'm not sure how well I do on the speaking front, but if it's just in terms of comprehension, I'd say I'm pretty proficient at it. Well, hey, look, I'm speaking to you every week. I can tell you now that there's not much difference between your accent and a French one. It sounds like you've been living in France your whole life. Well, thank you for telling me your secret. I guess I can tell my students to absorb as much material as they can. That way, they can become a native in a matter of months like you. Hey, look, I'm not saying it's gonna be that easy. I mean, I'm a bit of a special character. My ability to absorb information is quite high, even if I say so myself. The only reason that I had bad French grades was that I didn't concentrate my efforts into it. You sound like a really capable individual, Harry. I like that, I really do. Listen, I don't know how you're gonna take this, but there's this company that is in dire need of IT workers. The problem is that most of the people that work there are French. You need to have a high level of French to know how to work in that environment. What do you think? Are you interested? Are you looking for a job at the moment? Currently I'm already employed, but I was just thinking about quitting. I actually want to open up my own IT company. I see. Well, look, you're the type of person that I don't think we can just pass on that quickly. We're going to offer you a competitive rate, and you can also choose the hours that you want. We'll have it so that the time is flexible. We'll give you enough time to work on your own company. Wow, really? You want me to go that far just to employ me? Am I really worth it? I'm 100% sure that this is what we want to do. So, what do you say, Harry? Can I look forward to you and I working together in the future? Alright, you and I have to talk about this. What the hell was that all about? Don't think I don't know that you've had a hand in what happened today. Just what in the hell were you doing at that company? I'd like to ask you the same thing, Francis. I wasn't expecting to see you there of all the places. What are you talking about right now? You know exactly why I was there. I've been talking about how I've been trying again to join a corporation related to France, right? Seems pretty convenient that I see you there, so I want you to spit it out already. What did you do today? I know you must have sabotaged me in some way. Keep barking, Francis. I know that no matter what I tell you, you're not gonna believe me anyway. You and your family have had it out for me since day one. None of you listen to what I have to say. There is no point in me trying to defend myself. Look, I've had enough of you being all sentimental. I want an answer from you. Did you know that I failed that interview today? There is no way that should have happened. I've come to this point with flying colors. There's no way they could just close the door on me at the very last second. Why would they do something like that? Well, I'm not sure, to be honest. For someone of your background, you should get this job straight away, shouldn't you? You must have done something really bad to have failed something like this. Or, you know what? Maybe they've realized just how stupid you are in the first place. I think that's a better explanation for everything that's going on. Why don't you just shut your damn mouth? Who are you to talk about me being stupid? Don't you realize that this place requires you to know French? How would someone like you get into a place like this anyway? You really do underestimate me, don't you? You and your family. You guys think that I didn't pass French because I was stupid or something, but that is not the case at all. I just couldn't care to put my efforts into it. When I do put my efforts into it, however, you'd be surprised at how far I've come. What are you trying to tell me right now? That you've managed to get your French so good that you could work in a company like this? That's impossible. It's only been a couple of months since you and I have talked. I remember how bad you were on that day. Yeah, well, looking back in retrospect, I have to agree with you there. I was quite terrible, wasn't I? Then again, it doesn't compare to how I am now. I haven't had one situation where I've had difficulty trying to communicate with French people. In fact, I've only been in this company for a couple of weeks now, and me and the staff get along just fine. A lot of them are trying to invite me to dinners and whatnot, but I just don't have the time for them. It's good to know that they consider me on friendly terms, though. This is just insane. You're telling me right now that they would rather employ you over me? They want some computer geek instead of a natural native French person? Are these people stupid or something? Maybe it's a good thing that I didn't work here anyway. I don't know, Francis. Maybe that should tell you something. You're probably lacking in some quality that they need at the moment. Oh, and you mentioned that I was some sort of computer geek. Well, let me just tell you, it's the biggest job in demand at the moment. People will do whatever they can to get their hands on a skilled professional. And for a company like this, a guy like me that can speak French fluently is pretty much perfect. Just shut up. I'm not going to believe that you can speak French. You're just some fat American. You can't get the grease out of your throat to speak a language like this. Are you sure about that one, Francis? Are you telling me that you didn't see me chatting with one of my colleagues when you saw me at that company? You sure missed a very good moment. Everyone is in a very good mood today. They're all giving me high fives. Look at you getting a big head just because you have some French friends. It doesn't mean that your French is any good. This is just unbelievable. Why would they employ you over me? Well, that is a very good question. I'm curious about that one as well. Didn't they give you a reason for why you failed that interview? They said that they took a look at my test score for French, and they said it was way too low to work at this company. Isn't that the stupidest thing you have ever heard? How could my French score be low? I am a native French speaker. I've been speaking this language my whole life. This is quite perplexing, isn't it?
I'm curious about it myself, but come to think of it, it makes sense, doesn't it? They're not measuring speaking ability on that test. It was all written and writing ability. Can you say that you're a strong writer of French? Well, of course not. We moved to America when we were young, didn't we? We've all done our writing in English. I barely read French. I see. I think I see what's going on here. No wonder they failed you. You must have the reading ability of an elementary school student. What did you just call me? I'm calling you stupid, Francis. That's what I'm calling you. How dare you? I'm not going to stand for this. I'm not stupid. I can read French. I know exactly what happened here. You saw that I was in that company. You knew about this. You must have switched our papers or something. You knew my French score would have been high, so you switched it with yours to make yourself look good. Look, you flatter me, Francis. For me to do something like that would mean that I'm very good friends with everyone, and I'd be able to get my hands on that. I will say that I'm a very amicable person, but I wouldn't be able to get along with people that quickly here. I will take that as a compliment, though. Anyway, you know what? I don't really have time to speak with you. I've got stuff to do. I'm going on a trip. What the hell? What does that mean to me? What do you mean you're going on a trip? It's halfway through the day. You're working there, aren't you? Your shift should finish at 5. Well, fortunately for me, I'm not working under normal circumstances. These people are grateful whenever I can come in. I really only come in about 4 hours this week, but they still really like it when I'm here and I do the work that I can. I don't understand this at all. Why would they put so much emphasis on you? You're not that special. What do you have that I don't? Well, you should have gotten to know me. Too bad you're not going to get a chance in the army anymore. What do you mean by that? Well, I'm not just going on a trip to France. We're actually going to move there. What did you just say? Yep, me and your sister Jane. We figured that we both know French now, so why not do something different? Not only that, but this company has also provided support for us. They figured that we can get more work done that's valuable to the company back in France. Are you kidding me? How could you do that? She hasn't even said goodbye to me. Does my father know about this? Well, here's the thing. After that little stunt that you and your father pulled last time, she doesn't want anything to do with you guys. I've been telling her constantly about the experience that I've had with you. Your father banging on our door, trying to get violent with me, relieving himself on my doorstep, talking badly about me in French at that dinner. Not only that, but the fact that he tried to sabotage the car, which would end up getting me killed. She's reached the point where she finally understands where I am coming from. She doesn't want anything to do with you people anymore. She has a new family now. Are you kidding me right now? You're trying to tell me that my sister is actually leaving me? She can't do that. Does she know what she's getting herself into? Does she even know what's going to happen to her if she keeps hanging around with this American? You really have a lot of pride for your own country, don't you? Let me remind you of something. Your sister is half American. Same as you. Your mother is American, isn't she? Don't you feel ashamed of yourself, putting down your own country that much? I'm sure she wouldn't like to hear what you're saying. How about you just shut up? I'm never going to associate myself with you. I'm so embarrassed about my heritage. I wish I was just French. I hate being associated with one of you stupid people. Well, that's not my problem, Francis. It's not my fault. You have an inferiority complex. Anyway, I'm gonna be going now. We have a lot of things to pack. This is very exciting. It's my first time in France. I wonder if people are still gonna think that I'm a tourist when I have this level of French ability. Francis was too stubborn to actually try and improve his French ability. He thought that because he was a native speaker and had been speaking it his whole life, that it should be enough. He didn't want to degrade himself by actually learning how to read and write because of that. As a result, he didn't get into any of the corporations he wanted. He was left unemployed and had to work in the garage shack. Unfortunately, he couldn't do that either. The car that his brothers had serviced for me wasn't intentionally tampered with. This is actually a systematic error that they've been making often. This little systematic error has led to the death of a couple of people on the road. The coincidence was just too obvious that the law had no choice but to shut down Elliot's business.
He and all of his sons are now left unemployed. Not only that, but their reputation is tarnished. The chances that they'll be able to open up another garage are quite low. In addition to that, they've always had a poor attitude towards anyone who isn't French. So, no matter what interview they go to, they haven't had much success in finding employment. I'm very curious as to what's going to happen to them down the road. There are a lot of family members there, and each one of them is very big. You can tell that they need a lot to fill their bellies. It's only a matter of time before they end up on the streets. They don't have the money to keep paying for their weekly expenses. As for me and Jane, our relationship has only blossomed more. After she came back from that trip with her family, she and I had a discussion. I was actually intending to cancel the wedding because I didn't know if I could put up with her family for the rest of my life. It was at that point where she told me that she was pregnant. She had a child on the way. I had no choice but to stick with her because of that. She made the decision to cut off her family instead. She wanted to prioritize the new family that was about to come into existence. I couldn't be any more happier for the fact that we made that decision. Now we're living in France and hoping to start an amazing journey here. With the flexibility I have and the amount of money I get from the job at the French company, I should be able to start my company in no time. I guess I should thank Jane's family for pushing me to learn French again. It really has led to a great opportunity. Hey Caroline, are you free next Friday? I was hoping that you could come for lunch with me and my mom. I really want you guys to meet each other. It's been a while since we started dating, and I think that she wants to meet you too. I think it's because I always talk about you to her.
Yeah, I think that I'm gonna be free. That would be great. I'd be happy to finally get to meet her. You always seem to talk very highly of her, so I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, great then. I'll book a nice restaurant for Friday then. I'll let you know once I decide on a place then. I'm so happy that you're agreeing to do this.
Okay, thanks for arranging this opportunity for me, by the way. It's probably about time I met her, considering we're getting married soon. You talk to her almost every day, so you guys must really get along well. I sometimes worry that she's gonna take you from me.
Don't worry, that will never happen. Although, I do really get along well with her. Anyway, yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought it would be the best that you guys meet as soon as possible. My mom is like the most perfect person, so I think that you'll have a lot to learn from her too.
Well, I'll do my best to learn from her then, I suppose. She does sound a little strict listening to the way that you talk about her. Still, I'm sure that I'll have a good time.
I don't feel like she's that strict at all. Anyway, she's really good at cooking, and she's also great at taking care of finances too. I think there are definitely skills that you could learn from her. I'm sure that she'll be happy to teach you anything. I just booked us a nice Italian restaurant in downtown for next Friday. I'll let my mom know about this too then.
Okay, thanks for making the reservation. I gotta find something nice to wear to meet her.
Just make sure that you don't wear anything too expensive. She doesn't like to spend that much money when possible.
Well, I mean, what I wear should be up to me, but yeah, I'll keep it in mind, I guess.
I heard a lot about you from Thomas. It was great to finally get to meet you in person. I had a great time, Caroline.
Thank you, Karen. I feel the same way too. I've heard so much about you, so I've always wanted to meet you in person. It's so nice that we finally got the chance to meet. I feel like I should have met you earlier. I'm sorry that it took quite some time.
I am sure you were busy with work, so you didn't have much free time, so that's understandable. No worries at all. I heard that you work at a broadcasting station. Thomas told me all about it. I think that's really cool. Anyway, that must mean that you're so busy with work.
It keeps me busy for sure. I think I'm lucky to have a job there, though. It's a field that I've always wanted to work in.
So you must see a lot of celebrities at your job, don't you?
Well, I wouldn't say a lot. I did meet some celebrities, but that doesn't happen that often. But when I do see them, it's really cool. I usually work on the behind-the-scenes stuff, so I don't get to work with celebrities directly.
Oh, I see. That's still very interesting, though. I'd love to hear more about it at some point. Thomas is very lucky to date someone like you, by the way. I was pleasantly surprised when I saw you. I can see why he started dating you.
That's very nice of you. Thank you, Karen. I hope that Thomas can be with us next time so the three of us can talk together. He really wanted to come with me since it was my first time meeting you.
I know it would have been really nice if he did come with us, but it couldn't really be helped. Nobody could predict that he would have to be called into work all of a sudden. I hope that his factory is doing okay. Sounded like some trouble had occurred at his workplace.
Yeah, I agree with you. I didn't think something like that would happen on such an important day like today. I'm sure Thomas is feeling bad that he couldn't be here with us. Work takes priority for sure, though. I hope that him and his workplace is doing okay.
Yeah, I hope so too. Anyway, since I think you guys are both ready to get married, I want to tell you what I expect from you once you guys get married. First of all, I don't think that you should expect any wedding gifts from me. I think it's just a waste of money spending money on stuff like that. You also don't need to get me any gifts either. I also don't want you guys getting each other any gifts either. Let's not become like that. I think you guys should just exchange something meaningful instead of money and gifts.
Well, that's kind of a strange request. Are you sure? I think gifts are a good way to show that we appreciate someone.
I don't think that way at all. I think that gifts are just a show of who has money. It's all pointless stuff. It's nothing sincere at all. I think that what matters the most is how you two love each other and how we support each other as family members. That's more important than spending money on gifts.
I see. That's really nice to hear that. I guess that's one way to think about it.
I also want you to live frugally as possible with Thomas. You should already know that he doesn't like to waste at all. He only buys things that he knows he's definitely gonna need because he is just like me. I taught him that. Most guys his age are not like him at all. Most guys just buy whatever the hell they want. They have no control or discipline at all. Young people these days spend their money on fickle things that make them look rich or popular. I absolutely hate that. Thomas is a very good boy, and he is smart enough to know how to use his budget in the right way.
I know! That's what I like about Thomas. Like you said, he doesn't waste his money on pointless stuff. He's definitely not like most other guys his age. That's definitely one of the reasons I think that he'll make a great husband. He's responsible and thinks about the future a lot.
Well, I'm glad that you seem to be in agreement with me. Most guys his age don't seem to care about wasting and spending so much money. You will find it hard to find someone like my son, you know that, right?
I agree with you. Thomas is different than others. I know I'll probably never find someone like him ever again. We're getting married though, so I don't think I'm gonna need to worry about having to find anyone else.
You are marrying the right guy, Caroline. You're not going to regret your choice. There are so many people who are getting divorced because of their financial situations. There are guys who spend money to party and get wasted. There are so many people who are reckless these days. Thomas isn't gonna be like that at all. I can guarantee you that. It's all because I raised him into a good man. I've even helped out with his finances from time to time.
Oh, I see. That's very nice of you. You seem to like talking about money and finances, don't you?
I'm just being nice and teaching you that you should be careful with how you spend money. So my point is, you don't have to worry about bringing gifts for my family or anything like that. I also won't worry about getting you any expensive gifts, and that includes your wedding. How about we agree that we exchange cheap but meaningful gifts to each other in the future?
Sounds great, Kieran. I will keep that in mind. I'll try to be more careful of what I spend money on, too. I guess that I have a lot to learn from you, then.
You know that there are not many mother-in-laws who don't care about gifts, right? You should be grateful for me to tell you this so you don't have to feel pressured. There are many couples who fight over these small things and end up arguing endlessly about these. Now you don't have to worry about choosing expensive gifts for me or my family.
I know. Thank you for being so considerate. I guess it can be pretty nerve-wracking to pick out gifts after all.
Well, I think I've managed to get my message across to you then. Let's hope that the three of us can get together at some point then. I look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, I look forward to that day too. Thanks for all the advice today.
Okay, great then. Let's keep in touch.
Yeah, for sure. I'll ask Thomas to arrange another day when we can all meet then.
Sounds great to me. See you!
Hey, Caroline, did you meet my mom? How was it?
Thomas, yeah, I did get to meet her. She was so nice and caring. She was telling me about her beliefs and how she liked to live. She was also praising you a lot. You should feel proud that she seems to be so happy talking about you. She also gave me a lot of advice, too.
I know that my mom is such a great woman. I really admire her, and I want to be like her one day. I'm glad that you seem to like her too. So, what kind of things did she give you advice about?
Well, she told me a lot about her finances and how she likes to live frugally. She kept on emphasizing that she didn't like having to buy expensive gifts for other people.
Oh, so that's what she talked to you about. She's very good at taking care of finances. I actually leave her in charge of all of my finances. I've been sending her all of my paychecks and she budgets everything for me. Isn't that amazing? I don't have to worry about what I spend money on at all. She decides it all for me.
Wait, what? Did you just say that you hand over your entire paycheck to her? So she's the one that's taking care of all of your finances?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I really don't know how I should ever thank her. I just send her all of the money that I earn, and she gives me an allowance for how much I'm allowed to spend.
Wait, please tell me that you're joking. You don't actually do that, do you? How can you do that? I mean, I kinda get it. You were saying that she's so good at controlling the finances, so you've left her in charge. I just think that giving her your entire paycheck is overdoing it. You're a full-grown adult, so you should be taking care of your own money. If you think that she's good at financing and budgeting, then ask her for advice. Don't just blindly give her all your money. She might be your mom, but you shouldn't just trust her completely.
Why are you reacting so negatively about this? I told you that she's amazing at doing this kind of stuff. I'm grateful that she's kind enough to take care of my money.
Well, I'm a little shocked to hear this. So, if you give your paycheck to your mom, how do you live your everyday life? Where is the money coming from?
It's just as I told you earlier. My mom gives me allowances for my own budget. She tells me how much I should be spending on what. This is how it's always been.
You can't be serious. So you're an adult, but you still have an allowance?
Yeah, why? Is it a problem? I don't think that there's anything wrong with it at all.
I mean, I can't say there's a specific problem, but I have never seen anyone over the age of 30 getting allowance from their parents. That's unusual. Why didn't you tell me that before I met your mother? Also, we're meant to be getting married soon. You need to tell me about these kinds of things.
Why though? It's really no big deal at all. I thought it would be weird to open up all of a sudden about my finances. I just didn't feel like talking about it before the topic came up. The topic came up today, so I'm telling you about it. Simple as that. I think it's a good thing that my mom is taking care of my money, because I'm really not interested in making an investment or anything like that to make more money. My mom has been so good at taking care of all of that stuff, so I trusted her with it. This is just how things work between us.
I mean, okay, but when we get married, you're going to stop this and bring your paycheck to our home, right? I think it'll be weird for her to take care of your paycheck after you get married. You're an adult and getting married to me, which means you're going to start a new family with me. I think it's not right for her to intervene and to make decisions when that would affect our marriage directly. I think that we should be the only ones that take care of and control our finances. I mean, I'll do it myself if you really don't want to.
I don't know if I'd feel comfortable doing that. My mom's always taking care of my finances after all. I think it would be best if I just leave her in charge of it like I've always done. I just don't really see the problem with it.
I kind of get why you're thinking that way, but starting a family and getting married is a whole other level. You have to be independent from your parents for you to start your own family. You can't keep on asking your mom to take care of all your money.
I see what you're saying, but I don't know if I'd feel comfortable with what you're suggesting.
I'm not asking you to do anything difficult or out of the ordinary at all. After we get married, I need you to bring your paycheck home and not send it to your mom. You understand the importance of that, right?
Okay, yeah, I get it. I'll do that once we get married then.
Honey, I have to ask you something.
Hey, Caroline, what is it that you need to ask me about?
What happened to your paycheck from last month? I don't see it deposited into our shared bank account yet. It should really be here by now.
Are you sure about that? Did you check properly?
Yeah, I just checked inside the joint account that we made when we got married. Your paycheck still hasn't been deposited. I wonder what's going on. Are you sure you gave your company the correct details? Could you check with them just in case? I'd like to start budgeting out our finances for this month.
Oh, I'm sure that I gave them the right details. I just checked and it was deposited correctly. I just think that you're looking at the wrong account.
The wrong account? I thought that we agreed to put our money into a shared account. I don't see your salary deposited here. What account are you talking about?
Oh, I was talking about my account that I share with my mom. That's where my money went.
Wait, but why? That's not what we agreed to, is it? What about the account that we made together? What happened to that one?
I thought I already told you that my mom takes care of my finances. I need to deposit my money into an account that she has access to. She doesn't have access to our shared account, so I can't put my salary into there. I'm just going to be putting a small portion of my allowance into our shared account. It's not going to be a lot of money, though.
This isn't what we agreed to at all. Do you not remember the conversation we had a few months ago? I told you you should bring your paycheck to me instead of your mom once we get married. You even agreed that you would bring it home.
Did I? I don't remember having a conversation like that at all. My mom is the one that's going to take care of my finances.
What? Don't pretend like you don't know what I'm talking about. Go read the text that we exchanged back and forth a few months ago. I told you you shouldn't be leaving your finances up to your mom. You even promised that you'd change once we got married. Well, we're married now.
Well, even if I did say that, I've changed my mind. I don't want to take care of my finances because it's been so easy when my mom took care of it. I don't want to have to waste lots of time thinking about money-related stuff. My mom is helping us out by doing this.
What the heck are you talking about? That is not how you should feel about this at all. Are you even sure that your mom is being fair with your money? I have a really bad feeling about this. Are you sure she's not taking your money from you?
Don't accuse me of something like that. Haven't you realized how difficult it is to finance and budget things? My mom is offering to do it for us. Let's just leave things as is. I'm lazy and I don't want to do it myself.
You should never feel lazy about taking care of your own money. It's a very important thing you should know how to do. It's one of our responsibilities as an adult. Also, the amount of money that your mom gives to you as allowance is way too small. We can't make a living with that kind of money. You need to receive the salary yourself and budget accordingly.
This isn't just my problem, you know? It's not just me who's earning money. You earn money too, so we can spend your money on our living expenses if we don't have enough.
What did you say? Are you kidding me? We both work, so we should both contribute towards our living expenses. I am not going to pay for it myself. This wouldn't be a problem if you just stopped giving your paycheck to your mom.
Why are you complaining about this so much? Your paycheck is decent, so we're going to be fine. Just pay for our living costs if you're going to take care of your own finances.
You are talking nonsense right now. Your argument doesn't make sense at all. It's not fair that I should spend my paycheck for almost all our living costs just because you're lazy and you don't want to take care of your own finances. So stop talking nonsense and talk to your mother about this. Tell her that you're going to be taking care of your finances from now. Also, ask her to return all the money that she's taking care of for you. We'll sort out our own finances from now on, okay? We just got married and started our new lives together. We're gonna need the money.
You're asking me to do something pretty crazy, you know? I really don't know if it's the right thing to be doing.
It is the right thing to be doing for sure. You should get to it immediately. I don't even know why you're questioning this in the first place. It's time you start acting like an adult and took care of your own money.
Okay, fine then. I'll try to talk about it. Hey Mom, I hope that you're doing well. I have something that I need to talk to you about.
Hey, Thomas, I'm doing well. What about yourself?
I'm doing pretty well, Mom. I need to ask you something.
Okay, what is it that you need to talk to me about?
Well, it's about money, kinda. You know how you've been taking care of my paychecks till today, right?
It's about your paycheck? What is it?
I think that I'm going to take care of my own finances from now on. I don't want to send you my paycheck every month from now on. I know that you've been really smart about taking care of my finances, but I think it's time for me to do it myself now, especially because I'm married to Caroline now. I think that I should take care of it all myself. I want all of my savings that you've been taking care of for me back too.
Wait, what? You're not serious about this, are you? I've worked really hard taking care of your finances for you up till today. Why are you suddenly changing your mind about this?
Well, it's not exactly my idea. Caroline told me that she's going to take care of it from now on. She was saying how I needed to be more independent from now on. She doesn't want you taking care of my money.
Oh, so this is her idea. Can't believe she would do something like this. What a sneaky witch. You guys should be grateful that I was taking care of your finances. So, you're just gonna agree with her and listen to what she tells you to do? You're the man in the marriage. You need to stand your ground.
I don't even know what to do. It's been a few months since we got married, and I think she wants us to deposit our money into our shared account from now on. I suggested that I should continue to let you take care of it, since you've been good with it, but she denied it. She really wants to control my account, so I couldn't win the argument. I don't think that I can stand my ground against her.
Wow, that is shocking, and very offensive to me. I can't believe she would do this against me. She should know that I have been taking care of your finances and that I've been doing a good job. I can't believe she's even asking to take control of everything. Who does she think that she is to tell you and me that?
I don't know what to do about this, Mom. Could you please just give me back all of my money that you took care of for me?
I'm definitely not gonna do that.
Wait, what? Why though? It's my money, isn't it?
I started saving your paychecks inside a savings account. It is not a smart idea to break your savings account. I think it's a better idea to leave it so that it'll appreciate over time. I also put it in a special account that I can't really touch for a specific period of time. Your money is locked away for now.
Mom, please, can you just give it back? At least some of it? Caroline said that we need to both be paying an equal amount for our living costs. I need some money to pay for my portion.
I don't understand why she's asking you to pay so much. You guys are married now, and she earns a decent amount of money too. Surely she can just pay for the living expenses. I think that she's being very unfair about this. I also don't understand why she's against me taking care of your money. It's safer this way.
Well, she said it's only fair that we put an equal amount of money towards living expenses. I discussed all of this with her, but she said that it doesn't make sense that you are taking care of my money whatsoever. I just need you to stop taking care of my money now, Mom. I'm really grateful that you helped me out all of this time, though.
I didn't think that Caroline would be that greedy. She's really trying to take advantage of you, isn't she? I'm gonna go and talk to her about this directly. She's being very rude and inconsiderate about all of this. If she starts controlling you like this, it's gonna become a big problem in the future. I can't let that happen, to you or to me. I should tell her that she shouldn't be too controlling like this. I'm gonna show her where she stands in this family.
Okay, Mom, I guess I'll just leave it to you guys to sort out.
Yes, just leave it to me now. I'm gonna go and teach her a lesson. Caroline, I need to talk to you right now.
Oh, hey, Karen. What's going on? It's been a while since we talked.
I am not happy about something. You should very well know what this is about.
You're not happy about something? What are you talking about?
I heard from Thomas that you want Thomas to bring his paycheck to you from now on. You've also told him to get all of his savings back from me. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. I asked him to do that. I think that he should take care of his own finances from now on.
I can't believe that you're asking him to do this. So what's going to happen to his money from now on? Are you saying that you'll take care of it yourself then?
Well, either I take care of it or we take care of it together. I'm no longer going to leave it in your hands. We are married adults. We should be completely independent. I think that's the right thing and the best thing to do. He's currently getting monthly allowances from you, and we can't continue living like this. You barely give him anything. He can't even pay for his own portion of his living expenses at the moment.
I'm just making good financial decisions for his sake. It's very important that he saves for his future. There should be no reason for you to be taking over from me.
Sorry? What do you mean by that? He is an adult. It doesn't make sense for his mom to be taking care of his money.
I don't understand why you want to be in control when I am doing a great job with this budget. He's saving more money when I take care of these things. I don't think you can do that at all.
Until last month, Thomas was single, so I get that you took care of his budget and banking and all of that, but now Thomas is married to me. So I think it's right for me and Thomas to combine our accounts together so we can take care of our own budget as a married couple.
What does controlling the budget have anything to do with you getting married to him? It doesn't matter whether you guys are married or not. Please just leave this alone. It's working out well for everyone.
Well, it might be working for you, but it's not working out for us. Starting now, Thomas and I should combine our accounts, and we should start saving for our future together. We also want to pay an equal amount towards our living expenses. We currently can't do that with you controlling his money.
You guys both work, don't you? You have a decent job. That should give you more than enough to pay for your living costs. I'm also very nice, so I give Thomas an allowance every month. So why is it necessary for you to take control of Thomas's money? I don't really see the reason.
I am not sure why you don't understand the fact that Thomas has to be independent, not just physically, but financially too. I'm also not taking control of his money. I just want to be able to finance our married life together.
Stop talking like he's still a child. I don't want to hear that. He's an independent man. He's married to you now, and he must be a great husband. I just take care of his finances, so there's nothing wrong with that. Stop trying to make such a big deal out of nothing already.
I am not making a big deal out of this. I'm just asking you for something very simple. Just give his savings back to him. That's all I'm asking. Since I'm married to Thomas, I have the right to ask you to give it back to us. I'm not sure why it has to be this hard to bring back what was originally his anyway. It's the money that he worked hard to earn. I don't understand why you're refusing to give it back to him.
Wow. What you're saying tells me how greedy you are. You are greedier than I ever could have imagined.
This is not me being greedy, but asking for something that is supposed to be Thomas's already. So I'm not asking you for anything extra. I am just asking you to bring back what was his. This is my husband's paycheck and his savings that we're talking about. It's not yours. So I do have the right to ask you to give it to me. I think I'm the only one making valid points right now.
Why is it that obvious that I should give it all to you? Honestly, how am I meant to even trust a woman like you? I don't know if I can trust you with all his money. Think about it. You're not my child, and you're my family only legally, so how would I know that you are someone I can trust? My son worked really hard to earn this much money, and to save up this much. It's not a small amount of money for me to just give you. Also, I have no idea what your intentions are with the money.
Are you saying that I would take it for my own good? I am not going to do that. I told you that I just want us to be in charge of her money.
I will think about whether I can trust giving you all his money. However, I'm definitely not gonna just hand it over to you right now. You get your own paycheck from your job, so you should take care of the living costs with your money. And it's not like I don't give anything to Thomas. He gets his monthly allowances, so you should be able to pay for things with his allowances as well.
Hey, Thomas, I really think that you should tell your mom to give all your money back to you immediately. I talked to her about it yesterday, and it seemed very suspicious to me. She completely refused to give back your money in monthly salary.
Wait, Mom told me that you guys had already solved the problem. I heard that Mom told you that she's gonna continue to take care of it herself. I thought you both ended the conversation in complete agreement. Well, at least that's what she told me. Why don't we just make this an easier process and let her take care of my money? She's a great person and she won't ever do anything bad with my savings. She's gonna take care of it even though she doesn't have to do it for me. I think that she's being really kind by doing this for me.
Are you kidding me right now? I am your wife, not your roommate. I don't understand why you're trying to side with her. I told you how ridiculous it is that she's the one taking care of your paycheck and savings.
Why are you so sensitive about my money? You are demanding so much at this point. You are asking something that's gonna make things so complicated between me and my mom. You know how much I love my mom. Why can't you just leave her alone?
Listen, Thomas, you are a married man, and you should be independent from your mom financially. I don't understand why she's taking care of your money. You can love her and take care of her all you want, but you should get to decide what to do with your hard-earned money. I don't get why I have to dedicate most of my paycheck to her living expenses. I'd have a lot more financial freedom if you just pulled your own weight. Do you not realize how unfair this is? You should, at the very least, get her to give you enough money to pay for your portion of the living expenses. Are you not feeling comfortable being independent from her or something?
I just treasure the connection that I have with my family a lot. There's nothing wrong with that. I've been like this with Mom for a long time, and we're really comfortable with how things are. Do you not trust my mom or something? Is that why you're like this?
When did I ever say that? It's not like I can't trust your mom. This is about you being independent and being able to control your life yourself. You need to stop relying on your mom for something that's really important in your life, as it affects me too. You can take control of your finances and still have a good relationship with your mom.
I just don't see why it's a bad thing to let my mom take care of it. I really don't see any harm coming to our way for doing that. Why do you even focus on using my paycheck for our living costs anyway? You can use yours, and we can save my paychecks for something bigger like an investment for a future house, or if we're gonna have a baby. There are so many things that we can do in the future as we save my paychecks through my mom. I actually think that this is a great way to save money. We can't spend it if she has it, even if we get tempted to buy something.
I guess you just don't understand the point that I'm trying to get across. I feel like this argument is just looping over and over.
You're giving me such a hard time right now for no reason. I don't know why you're doing this.
What? You're saying that I am giving you a hard time? It's you that's being really difficult about a situation that can be easily solved.
Yes, you're being difficult. You're giving me such a hard time right now over some money problems. Is money so important to you that you have to separate me from my mom over it? The amount of money I earn isn't going to change either whether I look after it or she does.
Are you serious right now? You can't be serious, Thomas. Do you hear yourself? I can't believe you decided to get married to me with that kind of mindset. We had an agreement before the marriage that you would start taking care of your own finances. I can't believe that you're not staying true to your words. I am so disappointed in you in so many ways.
Why are you so disappointed? I don't think that there's anything wrong with my mom taking care of my finances. It doesn't matter who takes care of my finances. I'm fed up talking about this now, so don't ever talk to me again about this. My mom is not a bad person who would do anything with my money. You can trust her, I promise you that. If my mom didn't get involved with my finances, I wouldn't have been able to save up so much money. I'm gonna keep asking her to do this for me for the near future at least.
Of course we're gonna save money with the ridiculous system you guys have. You get paid $4,000 monthly, but she only gives you like $300 in allowance. $300 isn't enough to pay for anything. It's not enough to get by. I'm the one that's having to cover for what you lack. Your mother is not doing anything special for you to save money. You need to understand that. You also need to realize that you have to spend money to live. You don't seem to know about any of this. As if you've never taken care of your own money.
I don't need to know about finances, as I can just ask my mom for help. You're just jealous because you don't have a mom like me.
Oh, now you're just getting off topic. I wouldn't want a mom like yours anyway. Could you please at least get your savings back from her? I'm worried that she's lying to you about all of this.
My mom would never lie. Don't accuse her of something like that. Also, don't say bad things about her like that. You don't deserve her anyway.
Wow, you really do have a weird thing for your mom, don't you?
I don't even know anymore, Caroline. I'm gonna continue to let my mom take care of my finances, so please don't mention it again. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
This is not something you can just decide on. We must talk about it until we come to a conclusion that we both agree on.
I've already come to a conclusion. She's gonna be taking care of my money. Also, it's my money. I get to decide what to do with it. Stop being so controlling. So don't worry about how I handle it, okay? If you need more money for our living, then you can spend more of your own money.
Thomas, are you really serious about what you just said? Forcing me to pay for all of our living costs is not okay, and I'm not going to be doing it either. You better do something about this because I have no intention of budging on my stance on this.
I told you that I don't want to hear about it again. Why can't you understand that? I told you to spend more because you earn more than me. So you should just not be greedy and listen to me.
So you're telling me Thomas is still giving everything to his mom? And he's also telling you to use your salary to pay for all the living costs? That's absurd. I have no idea how you can live with that guy that would do that.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. I hate to admit it, but that's the guy I married. It's stressing me out so much. I can't believe that Thomas doesn't even want me to bring it up in our conversations. No matter how many times I talk about it with him or with his mom, they don't listen and they make me feel like there's something wrong with me. I'm not going crazy, am I? They're the ones being ridiculous, right?
You don't need to worry, Caroline. You're not seeing anything that's wrong at all. They're definitely in the wrong about this. You're the one who's telling them the right thing, so don't listen to them. I don't understand why his mom is still taking care of his money when he's a full-grown adult. Also, there is something wrong with Thomas to not say something to his mother about this. I feel like there's something that his mom is hiding from you.
That's what I am talking about. Oh, I'm relieved to hear you say that because so far they were talking to me as if I was the crazy one. Yeah, I agree with you. I also think that she might be hiding something from us.
I know this might sound crazy, but how about you quit your job? That might solve this entire problem.
Wait, what? Did you just tell me to quit my job? What's that gonna do to solve this?
Well, you've always wanted to quit your job, right? You said that you were going to quit after you get married. Now it's the perfect time to do that.
I'm sorry, but I don't really understand the reasoning behind what you're saying. If I quit my job now, Thomas and I won't be able to survive with just his allowance that his mom gives him.
That's my point. Think about it this way. If you quit your job, your mother-in-law and Thomas won't be able to depend on you to pay for the living expenses. That should force Tom to act and take control of his own salary. You also get to become a housewife like you've always wanted to become.
I'm not sure how I'd feel about that. I don't think I can quit my job just to make a point like this to them.
It's not a bad idea. You should really think about it. They're both completely taking advantage of you. They're forcing you to pay for all the expenses while their family gets to save his money. If they're gonna be this greedy, you should teach them a lesson. You were going to quit your job anyway. It's not like you came up with this idea all of a sudden to make them give up. You've been wanting to do this to prove a point to them.
Yeah, but I feel like that me quitting my job might make this worse. His mom seemed adamant about not changing her mind. If I quit my job, we might not be able to pay for living expenses at all.
Well, try to think of this from their perspective. If she continues to only give a couple hundred for his allowance every month, then you guys won't be able to make a living. I doubt she'd want to watch her son and daughter-in-law suffer like that, so she would have to eventually give up. She's not going to have any choice but to give up. That's exactly what you would want.
You really think this is a good idea, then? I'm kind of out of other ideas to make the situation any better.
I'm sure they would eventually listen to you if you do this, trust me, and just quit your job. You're going to do it anyway, so right now is a perfect chance.
You know what? You are so right. I was going to quit anyway, like you said, and I'm about to be done with the project that I'm working on, too. I also think that I need to stand my ground against the two of them. I can't let them keep doing this.
Yeah, that's the spirit. You aren't going to lose anything by doing this. This will be a good way to teach them a lesson.
I really didn't want to do this to make them listen, but since they're being so stubborn, I have no other option. Thank you, Heather. I really appreciate your advice. You definitely encouraged me to make the right choice.
Are you being serious, Caroline? Did you really just quit your job? You're not serious, are you?
Oh, I'm dead serious. I quit my job.
Wait, but why did you quit your job? This is such a bad idea.
Well, we talked about this before we got married. I was gonna quit and become a housewife. I just finished a long-term project that I was working on, so it was the perfect timing. I did tell you about this a couple of times. It's not like you didn't know about it.
I know you've said that before, but you didn't let me know that you were quitting today. I didn't think that you'd be quitting your job so soon. You should have warned me about this.
Well, maybe you should have just listened to me. I feel like you don't listen to anything that I say to you recently.
Well, but still, this is just so shocking that I don't even know what to say to you.
I quit my job today, so that's it. I told you about this in advance, so it shouldn't really come as a surprise to you at all.
Well, what are we gonna do about our living costs from now on then? What are we gonna do about that? If you're not gonna earn money, then how are we gonna afford everything? This is a huge problem for our future.
Well, you're gonna have to pay for it with your salary. You might have to take control of your finances from now on. Go talk to your mom about this.
Wait, what did you just say? This is actually ridiculous. I'm shocked.
Why are you so shocked about this? It's something that was determined a long time ago.
Still, I'm worried because it's happening so soon. You're the one that was paying for most of our living expenses till today. I'm really worried about our finances now.
Well, we have no choice then. There is a very easy fix to this. We're gonna have to ask your mom to give you back your savings, and we can also tell her that you're no longer gonna be asking her to take care of your salary. Once you start bringing your entire paycheck home, then we can start seeing how our finances go. If we're still short on money after you receive your full paycheck, then I'll think about finding a job again, maybe.
Wait, hold on a moment. Why did you have to quit your job like this? Did you do this just so that I'd have to ask my mom to give me my money back? You created a situation where I'd have to confront my mom about this. How could you do this to me?
What? Of course not. You already knew that I wanted to quit my job before we got married.
No, it's weird that you quit your job all of a sudden. It seems like you quit on purpose because you were fed up of my mom taking care of my money.
Why would I quit my job just to convince you and your mother? It's not your first time hearing about me quitting my job.
The timing is perfect for you to quit so you can convince me and my mom. That has to be it.
Why are you so unwilling to bring your paycheck home like a normal husband would do? Why does your mom have to take care of it, as if there's no other option? Are you saying that because you really don't want to share your portion of income for your household? Who knows what your mom is going to do with that money in the future? It's your hard-earned money that you should be using on us in our future.
I told you that my mom is a trustworthy person. You really need to stop doubting her like this.
I am not saying that she can't be trusted. Anyway, we definitely need your full paycheck so that we can live together from now on. We're going to be on a tight budget.
Okay, fine. I just wish that you didn't have to be like this, though.
Caroline, you must be kidding me. Did you really quit your job? You didn't tell me or Thomas about this at all.
I'm not kidding at all. I really did quit my job.
Why did you quit suddenly? I didn't know that you were going to be jobless. I really don't think that what you did is fair at all.
It's not like I suddenly quit without notice. I had already told Thomas that I was planning to quit after we got married. This was discussed before our marriage, so it shouldn't be news to him. I decided to quit today because the long-term project that I was running was all completed, so the timing was right. If I were to stay, I had to renew my contract, but since I decided to quit, I didn't renew my contract. It's as simple as that.
How can you just quit all of a sudden, though? I hear you that you had told Thomas about this before you guys got married. That was a long time ago. You didn't discuss any of this with him recently. That is not okay at all. If you quit this suddenly, how are you guys going to afford your living costs? Where is the money for your living expenses going to come from? You guys were dependent on your paycheck until today. If you just suddenly quit like this, how are you and my son going to get by?
Isn't that an easy thing to answer? You just need to return his savings to him and stop controlling his salary.
How dare you ask me to do that? We had this conversation before, but I'm going to continue to take care of his money. You're the one that needs to make the money for your guys' living costs. Don't make my son suffer just because you want to be lazy.
Why would Thomas suffer, though? He has a well-paying job and supposedly has a lot of savings. We won't be in any financial trouble if you just give his money back to him.
Well, you quitting your job makes this very difficult for him.
You bragged about how much money you were saving for him, right? Nothing should be an issue. We'll take care of our own finances from now on. You really need to leave us alone now.
You are such a reckless woman, Caroline. You're just wasting away your future over something so trivial. You're going to make both of your lives hell because you quit your job. Now you're basically announcing that you're going to be leeching off from Thomas for the rest of your life? You lazy cow! You need to work as well.
You're being really disrespectful now. Thomas has been leeching off of me ever since we got married. I've been paying for all our living expenses.
Oh, just be quiet. Stop making up excuses like that. You're just trying to get more money out of Thomas. I am not going to let you take care of his money, so don't even think about it. You need to start applying for a new job immediately. I want you contributing money to Thomas.
I am not going to apply to places because I am not planning on getting a job. I'm going to become a housewife and start making preparations for the babies that we're planning to have one day.
What do you mean? You're not going to get a new job? You're not even pregnant yet. It's too early to be preparing for that.
Well, I was going to take a rest and Thomas already knew that I was going to do this. I don't understand why you're intruding into our marriage this much.
You definitely planned this, didn't you? I know that you did this so you could take control of his money, you greedy thief. I actually think that you got married to Thomas so that you could take his money from him. That was your goal from the very start, wasn't it, you thief? He has his savings and the small studio room that he bought a while ago. That's what you're after, isn't it? I don't want to hear about any of this from you anymore. I won't let you take his money. That's final. If you don't like how this system works, then you're just gonna have to get a divorce from him. In fact, I want you to get a divorce from him immediately. I no longer want to have a greedy daughter-in-law like you.
Are you seriously saying this to me? You're just unbelievable. Thomas, I have something that I need to talk to you about.
What is it that you want to talk to me about?
I just had a talk with your mom. I want to get a divorce from you now. I can't be dealing with you or your mom anymore.
Wait, what? Did you just say a divorce? Why are you saying something like this all of a sudden? You're just joking about this, right?
I'm not joking about this at all. Your mother said that she can't let us have your full paycheck. She told me that she definitely wasn't going to let us take care of your money, and that she wanted me to get a divorce from you if I didn't like the system. You seem to be completely on her side on this, and I don't want to have to live a married life like this. It's over for us. I want a divorce from you.
How can you ask for a divorce just because my mom said something like that? You really should think this decision through again. It's definitely not a good idea at all.
It's your mom's idea. She's the one that suggested that we get a divorce anyway. Go talk to her if you don't agree with this. I also started thinking that you weren't the right person for me recently anyway. You didn't stay true to your word at all. We talked about many things before getting married, but you didn't keep your promise at all.
Oh, shut up. You're the one that's being ridiculous. Wait, I know what this is about. You only decided to marry me for my money. Now that my mom isn't letting you take care of my money, you've decided to get a divorce from me. You were just a lazy gold digger, weren't you? That's why you quit your job without telling me about it at all.
What? What the heck are you talking about now? Now you're accusing me of being a gold digger too? Wow, you're just like your mom, aren't you?
I mean, think about it. How can you be asking me to get a divorce this easily? You're saying that you want a divorce because you can't get money from me. Am I wrong to think that way? I'm pretty sure that this was your intention from the very start.
What? Do you seriously think that way? You must be such an idiot or something. How can you really be that stupid?
Why are you calling me stupid? I am not the idiot in this situation.
I don't even want to argue with you anymore. It's just draining and so pointless. Let's just get this divorce over and done with already. You're a traitor, and you're just like your monster mom, too.
You are disrespecting me right now. Watch your mouth.
Don't talk about my mom in that kind of way.
Oh, stop getting upset about this now. I'm just telling you the truth. You're just way too protective of your mom for no reason. She's not a good mom like you think she is at all. I really suggest that you start doubting her someday, instead of blindly believing everything that she says to you.
She's done everything right for me, though. She's done me a huge favor by taking care of my money. Do you not realize how hard it is to save money these days?
Well, there's no point in saving the money if she's not gonna let you use it at all. Let's just get the divorce done with already.
No, I don't want to get a divorce from you. This isn't a good idea for you either. You're jobless and don't have any money at all. You're not going to be able to live without me and my mom in the future. Just do as we say and find another job. I'm actually contributing to our future by saving through my mom. You're being absolutely useless by saving absolutely nothing. You're the one in the wrong.
Actually, I'm not gonna have any trouble whatsoever making a living after we get a divorce. Also, I never opened up to you about how much I had saved before we got married, but I have a decent amount of savings. Most people don't need to give all their money to save money. Adults do it themselves. I was planning to use it for our future, but it doesn't seem like I'm gonna need to do that anymore.
What do you mean you have money saved up from before our marriage? That's a lie, right? I never knew about any of this. Why are you telling me this now?
Well, first of all, I don't want to be accused of being a gold digger when I'm not. I had no reason to go after your money. I just didn't like how unfair this arrangement is with your mom and the fact that she controls all of your money. Here's the balance of my personal account if you don't believe me.
What is this a screenshot of?
What do you think it is? This is a screenshot of the balance of my savings account.
This is definitely not a screenshot of your account balance. You're lying to me. How much even is this? This is way too much to even imagine for most people.
I saved this much money because I was able to control my own money and I could invest portions of it to increase the value. It's something that I could do as I had full access to my money. This is how you take care of your own money. Do you understand it now? What did your mom do so far? Just saving your paycheck in your savings account and didn't even do anything with it? That's not how you save money, you idiot.
Honey, okay, I'm sorry. I'll take a think about this situation. Just please, don't get a divorce from me over it.
Don't you dare call me that anymore. I am going to divorce you, so don't even think about saying no.
Honey, let's just all talk about this as a group. I think that you're making the wrong decision by asking for a divorce from me.
Caroline, I heard about everything from Thomas.
Heard about what? I don't want to be talking to either of you right now.
I heard that you did a great job with your savings. How did you manage to do that?
Why do you care about my savings? Me and Thomas are going to be getting a divorce, so we're going to be strangers to each other from now on.
I was stupid. It's all my fault, Caroline. You can take care of my paychecks from now on. I really don't want to have to go through with this divorce.
Caroline, I agree with Thomas. You guys shouldn't be getting a divorce. I had no idea that you were so rich.
You were the one that told me to get a divorce from him. Why are you changing your mind now? Is it because you found out I had a decent amount of savings?
I was clearly not thinking straight before. I should have not said that to you.
It's so funny that you changed your attitude completely after you heard about my savings account. Maybe you're the one after my money. It's funny how the tables have turned so quickly.
I'm sorry, Caroline. Please forgive me for all of this. I admit that I was in the wrong.
This is the reason why I should have not married you, since you're so dumb. It's way too late for apologies. I already know what kind of man you really are. You didn't side with me when I needed you the most.
Come on, you don't have to say that. I know what I did was wrong, so I'm apologizing to you.
You never listened to me when I was trying to tell you what you were getting yourself into. You guys are so greedy and selfish. You guys treated me like I was the one being ridiculous and crazy. I've already made up my mind about this, so just give up and accept the reality. Goodbye, forever. I immediately hired a lawyer and got the process for our divorce started. Life became hell for Thomas from this point onwards. His mom suddenly disappeared the next week, along with all the money that he had asked her to take care of for him. Apparently, there was close to $100,000 in savings, and it was all gone in an instant. He couldn't really do anything about it as he had been giving her the money willingly. His mom never specified that he would get it back. All she said was that she'd take care of it. According to rumors, his mom had been seeing a man from Italy in secret, and they ran off back to Italy together with all the money she had taken from Thomas. This is why I really wanted him to take care of his own money. After finding out about what had happened, he repeatedly contacted me and asked me for forgiveness. He told me how I was right and he wanted me to take care of his money from now on. However, I decided to ignore him and blocked his number, that I'd never have to talk to him again. I hated him as a human being at this point, and I knew that our marriage wouldn't last even if I forgave him this time around. As for me, I've had no problem starting my new life. I had plenty of money to find a new place to live and live comfortably. I'm gonna relax and think about my future while slowly looking for a new job.
I still can't believe you proposed! I'm so excited I don't think I can sleep. We have so much to talk about and plan. I should probably ask my friends about what they think too.
I'm just so glad you said yes. I was so nervous. I planned it and everything, but I almost wussed out. But you said yes, so it's official. I guess we should talk to our parents about it. Is your father old school? Like, should I have asked him for your hand in marriage? That type of thing?
I don't think so, Toby. My dad's pretty quiet and mild-mannered. I don't think he cares about old traditions like that.
Oh, good. I realized that it was a thing after I planned everything, but I didn't want to delay it to ask your father for permission.
That's an old tradition. I mean, my father's kinda traditional, I guess, but doesn't force that on us. He'll be glad I'm married and taken care of. That's for sure. And of course, there are certain expectations, I guess, when it comes to weddings, but I think it's all pretty normal stuff.
Okay, let me know if I do something wrong. I don't want them to dislike me.
They'll love you. They have to because I love you. That's how it works with family.
I like that. So let's go meet them soon. You told them about me, right?
Of course. I told them all about you when we started dating, and they ask me about you sometimes. My parents have 2 daughters and my sister isn't married, so you're basically their first son.
I hadn't thought about it that way. That seems really special. You know, it's only been 8 months since we started dating, so it makes sense we haven't met each other's parents. But since we're getting married, we should do it soon.
Yeah, I want to meet your family too. They must be so cool. Your house is pretty big, right?
The house is on the big side, yes, but they're not all that cool. I know you've seen my father on billboards for his real estate business, but he's a pretty regular guy.
Except he's rich. That's not regular. I'm sure he's super interesting. I can't wait to meet him. I'm gonna be his favorite daughter-in-law.
That's a good attitude to have. I love that positivity and ambition.
You know us Latinas. We get through life with a smile on our face.
That is the right attitude to have, for sure. So, how do you say husband in Spanish?
Esposo. You're going to be my esposito. That's like hubby in English.
Esposito. Sounds good.
And that makes me your esposita. I can't wait for our future together to begin. I can't wait to be happily married ever after to my man. From tomorrow, I'm going to start planning the wedding. It's going to be amazing. I want all my dreams to come true. It just so happens that I know a wedding planner. I'll have to get together with her and discuss what I want.
Okay, great. You get on with that. By the way, how much money have you managed to save up? I have some myself, but I was just wondering about you.
Money? Why are you asking me?
I was just thinking that after we get married, we would put our money together. We would both be responsible for the bills and everything. What do you think? It's normal these days, isn't it? It's not the 1950s anymore. You can't expect the man to pay for everything. And I know women wouldn't want it that way anyway. You don't want to be subservient to a man, do you?
I don't have any money. I haven't saved anything. You know my family background and history. I come from a poor family. When I was young, it was difficult for us. We really struggled to get by, so I didn't get much from my parents. When I did get my own job, I just didn't manage to save that much money. Bills and rent are really expensive these days. It's difficult just to get by, never mind saving money for the future. I'd say it's nearly impossible. Tobias, my family wasn't like yours. You were rich, I was poor.
Okay, I understand. It's not a problem that you don't have that much saved up. I understand your background and how you've been paying for yourself since you were 18. But even a small amount of money would be able to help us. Also, we can spend money according to our earning power. No need to go over the top. If we have to be frugal, then let's do that. We should be sensible with money. It's the best way.
Maybe I could check my bank later, but I don't think I have more than a few $100 in there. A wedding's gonna cost some money. We'll manage with what we have. Why do you sound so worried? We can talk tomorrow when I get more of an idea of what I want and what things cost, okay? There's no use talking about it when we have no idea about any of the details.
Okay, let's do that.
Hey, did you miss me? Were you thinking of me last night? I was thinking about our wedding, and the more I think about it, the more I realize what a huge event this is for our lives.
Well, yeah, getting married is a big deal, I know.
This wedding needs to be absolutely superb. It's our forever memory, and I want everything to be perfect. I want a really nice ring. You said we'll go shopping together, but I've been looking online and have some I want to show you. And of course, I want a good wedding photographer. We want photos and videos of the day so we can look at them when we're old. And for Insta, of course. And the best ever honeymoon is a must. It has to be exotic but fancy, somewhere hot with a beach. We have to sit down and have a long talk about what we want to splurge on to have the most memorable wedding. I'm thinking classy, high quality, but fun. I think it's what we deserve.
That was a lot. What brought this on? I thought you didn't mind.
I am a woman. I want a romantic wedding. And romantic wedding often means an expensive wedding. Who wants to save money on their wedding and honeymoon? Certainly not me. We will keep those photos for the rest of our lives, so they better be good ones. And the honeymoon is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Why would we go for a cheap option? What will happen when our friends ask us about it? Would you want to tell them we did something cheap? What would they think? We'd be laughed at. Other people are going to the Maldives and we just went to some cheap location? I'd be embarrassed. We should at least go to an exotic location with a nice beach.
I'm not against this in principle, but I do worry about the cost. But if it's what you really want, then we should really consider doing it. I don't want you to be disappointed. I did mention us putting our money together and sharing the cost, do you remember?
How much money have you got?
Me? Well, about $200,000.
Wow, that's a lot. That's totally enough for what I want. You know my savings goal? Next year, I intend to have about $2,000 in saving. Not quite as much as you, but still good, I think. I guess we might not be traveling first class when we go, but the trip itself shouldn't be a problem. You have a good job and you have lots of savings. What are you worried about? I guess you'll just have to treat me like a princess and sweep me off my feet. I wish I could contribute more, but what can I do? I think it's the man's job to pay anyway, don't you agree?
Maybe we need to think about this before we decide anything.
You don't need to think. Why hesitate? I can't stand taking too long over a decision. In my opinion, you should just follow your heart. When you know something is right for you, then just do it. My friend has also introduced me to a really good wedding planner. I spoke with her and she told me what was on offer. I want to go with the most expensive option. It sounded so amazing, it was everything I wanted and dreamed of.
Well, if that's really what you want.
Congratulations! I heard you proposed to my sister.
Hey, Mary, thanks. Yeah, I know it's soon, but I know I love your sister, and like Haley says, why wait? I hope you're okay with me getting married to her. We only met a couple of times before.
Of course I'm okay with it. You're a gentleman, and I had a great time when I went out with you and Haley. I think you'll be a great husband for Haley. She loves you so much. She won't shut up about you.
Well, sorry about that, I guess. Has she talked to you about the wedding?
She's been talking about the wedding nonstop. It's gonna be the most beautiful wedding ever. She's going over every detail.
Well, that was fast. We just got engaged. Actually, I just started looking at the engagement rings. There are a crazy amount of choices out there. I'm not sure what's appropriate for us. I think something modest would be better suited for daily wear, but I'm not a woman, so what do you think?
Modest? You mean small? The engagement is something the girl shows to people when she tells them she's chosen the person she's gonna be with. It makes an impression. It symbolizes your love and also your capacity as a man. Weddings are all about showing your commitment to the world.
I guess that's true. I was thinking more about marriage than the actual wedding when I proposed.
That's okay. Leave the wedding stuff to us girls. Haley's loving every minute of sorting through colors and fabrics. She's going through every celebrity wedding photo she can find on the internet.
I'm kind of getting worried. I'm not sure what's expected of me by your parents, for example.
It'll be fine. Haley doesn't want any Mexican wedding stuff, so it'll all be pretty standard. We grew up in Connecticut, so we didn't have much Mexican culture around when we were kids. She wants to be a fairy tale princess.
A princess, huh? So that makes me a prince?
Yeah, or a knight in shining armor. This is basically her Cinderella story.
That seems a little dramatic. I really hope I can make her happy. What if she wants horses or something?
Then let her have horses. What are you, a cheapskate? This is her dream wedding. You know how we grew up super poor on welfare and in subsidized housing? Things were really tough.
Yeah, Haley told me a little bit about it. You both got scholarships for university, right?
That was the only way we could get out of there. Mom and Dad are still scraping by on what they get from welfare and disability. Dad got hurt on a job site when he first immigrated here. Haley and I both try and pitch in when we can.
I heard. It's really impressive that you both became independent and are supporting yourselves and your family.
Family supports each other. You should remember that since you're joining our family.
Gotcha. I plan to be supportive of Haley as much as I can. She's a great hairstylist, and she's a real people person. I'm sure she would be amazing at whatever she puts her mind to.
I don't think she's gonna want to go back to working in a hair salon. She'd make a great mom, though. Once you're married, a baby is definitely on the horizon. She's gonna want to focus on that, probably.
Right? But in due time, right? I think it's better to be prepared financially and be settled down before actually starting a family.
You're so responsible. You're like the perfect husband for Haley. Just don't think you can control her. She's strong-willed.
Yeah, I know. She is very determined when she sets her mind to something.
So a gorgeous wedding is not something you can skimp on. Just think of it as an investment in your future.
I suppose what you're saying makes sense. I just don't feel that strongly about weddings.
'Cause you're a guy. You just don't get it.
Maybe. Anyway, let me know if I mess up since I can't keep up with all this wedding stuff.
You know I will. You know you should buy presents for the bridesmaids too. A fancy designer bag for myself. I'm hoping you can make me happy.
Sure, you choose just one you like and I'll buy it. I guess it's part of the wedding expenses.
Great! Thanks so much. It's so lucky that you met a rich guy like you.
I'm not a rich guy. I have a decent salary, but it's not that good. I still have to be careful with my spending. I can't just throw around money and not think about it. But this is a special occasion, so maybe I can do so here.
Sure. Don't be too humble. I'll send you a link when I find the bag I want. Welcome to the family. Let me know if you need help finding a good gift for my parents.
Oh, right, thanks.
Hey, Toby, I'm just about to meet with the wedding planner. We're gonna talk about what I want. I still haven't sorted out the honeymoon. I've not decided exactly what I want, but I'll get to that soon. I saw a few cheap options recently, but it isn't good enough. I want high-class travel. I think I'll try to find a travel agency soon and discuss it with them. What about the house? We aren't going to live with our parents anymore, are we? Have you found a house for us to move into?
Sorry I couldn't go with you today. About the house, I found something near where I work. It's only a small place, 1 bedroom, a living room, and a bathroom. It's an apartment in an apartment block. It's not too expensive either, suitable for a newly married couple.
1 room? Are you crazy? Why would we want to move into such a small apartment? I don't even want to move into an apartment at all. I don't want noisy neighbors eavesdropping on us all the time. You know how I grew up. I want a house. Why can't we have our own house with a garden and everything?
There's nothing wrong with an apartment. I checked it out. It's a nice place, just a little small. And I don't think that noise will be much of a problem.
I can't believe you think this is okay. How can I accept this? I deserve a certain level of living standard, don't you think? I hate apartments. They're for poor folk. I can't stand the idea of living in one of those. You need to reconsider. I want a house with a garden. I was even hoping we could have a pool, and now you surprise me with this dinky apartment? Oh my goodness, how can I take this?
We could maybe get something a bit bigger if we took out a loan. What about a 2-room apartment? Would that be okay?
No way! I hate apartments. I already told you that.
Well, maybe there's a cheaper house in the area that we could move into. But it would be more expensive, and it's a bit risky taking out loans these days. You've seen the interest rate, haven't you? What if we can't pay off the loan and we end up in a debt trap? It might get really bad for us, so we don't want to rush into anything we might regret in the future. I really think we should just go for the cheapest option. We're already going to be spending enough on the wedding, the ring, and the honeymoon. We don't want to go crazy with the house too.
Maybe you have a point. We also need some money for the baby.
The baby?
Yeah, I want a baby as soon as possible. I think now is the right time. Maybe when we're on our honeymoon, we could try to conceive? Wouldn't that be wonderful? I think it's the natural time to get pregnant. Then when the baby's born, we can name it after the place where I got pregnant.
Are you going to be working when you have this child?
No, of course not. I'll be a housewife. Why would I work when I need to look after the baby? After we get married, I won't be able to work. I'll be busy looking after the house and the baby. You'll have to be the sole breadwinner. I'm sure we'll be able to manage just fine. You earn a lot of money. You get a lot of money in your current job, and if it's not enough, then you'll just have to try and get a promotion.
I don't think it'll be that easy. What if we get into financial difficulty? You should be prepared to work too. I know it's nice to stay at home and look after the baby, but a lot of mothers work too these days. Maybe you could work part-time to help lift the burden? There are many support systems set up to get women back into work. Some companies offer maternity pay, subsidized childcare, and stuff like that.
If we get a loan to buy a house, then we don't have to pay as much money up front. It'll be easier for you. What about asking your dad? Couldn't he lend you some money? I know he's a rich guy too. He must have accumulated a lot of wealth over his lifetime. I think that parents should help their children when they get married. It's normal, isn't it?
I don't want to ask my parents for help with this wedding or the house. I don't want to add stress into their lives. I've got my own life. I should look after myself. Also, my parents are nearly retired. They don't want to be thinking about spending money on their children. I'm an adult, and I don't think it's right to be asking for financial help from my parents unless it's absolutely necessary. My dad already did enough for me. He raised me well and spent a lot of money on my education. Thanks to him, I've got a great job for myself now. I can't go back and ask for more financial help from him. It just wouldn't be right. I think you're not really helping her.
Me? You think it's my fault?
If I'm being honest, I think your demands are too much. Your expectations have been getting higher and higher. First, it was the expensive wedding, then the honeymoon, now it's the house and baby. Then you say you have no plans to work and the whole thing will just be on my shoulders. It really is a lot for me. I think we need to live within our means. Maybe we could have a cheaper honeymoon. I don't think that we need to go to the most expensive location. Just somewhere nice for the two of us. And who cares about what other people say? Maybe we could go to the Maldives. But it would be best if we travel in economy class and stay in a medium price hotel. I think if we do the most expensive thing all the time, it's going to be really difficult financially. Then, after marriage, we need an affordable place to live in. The first place might not be a nice house with a garden, but we can work our way towards that as the time goes by.
Oh my god, really? Do we have to? I think you should follow my advice and ask your dad for help. Who knows what he might say? He might even be happy to help us. As for the house, isn't it better if we buy a nice place straight away? We don't want to live somewhere ugly and then spend every day wanting to move. We can get a loan and pay it off. That way we can have the house we want now instead of later.
Yeah, but I want to live near to work. I don't want to spend too much time commuting. It would be really annoying for me. Maybe in the future we could move out to the suburbs. I might be able to negotiate remote working, but I can't do it right now.
Well, whatever happens, I still want the most expensive honeymoon. I'm not going to budge on that.
We haven't even finalized the wedding plans yet. Let's just get that sorted, and then we can see what we can do. I think we should plan this whole thing one step at a time. What do you think?
If we have to.
So, what do you think about this one?
Wow, it looks good. It's so big. Did your dad help you out with this? I told you all along to ask him. I knew he'd be happy to help.
No, it's not that. I didn't ask him. This is a rental home. I don't like the idea of getting a massive loan, so for the time being, we'll just have to rent. It might be a waste of money, but it's much less risky. Maybe if you got a job, then we could do it differently.
You're still going on about me getting a job?
Well, if you won't, then we'll just have to settle for this. If you want a nice place to live in, then we have no choice but to rent. I can't afford to buy something like this yet. If you're not going to work, then what can I do? I can't afford it all on my own. I've got a good job, but it's not that good. We'll just have to save up a bigger deposit and buy in the future.
Rent? What a waste of money. Do we really have to do it like this? We don't want to be renting after we get married. We should really buy something of our own. It just doesn't feel right living in a house that wasn't truly ours.
What other options do we have?
I have no idea. Anyway, I like this place, so I guess we should go with that for now. I couldn't live in a smaller place, so I guess we'll just have to go with this. If only you could get a promotion, and if only your dad would help us out a little bit. We'd be in a much better position, and I'm sure we'd be able to get what we actually want.
Hey, son, how are the wedding plans? Dad, it's going great. Things are moving ahead smoothly. Tobias, is there anything I can do to help? You're my only son, so I wish there was something more I could do. If you need anything, then don't hesitate to ask. No, Dad, there's nothing you can do. I've got it all under control. I can handle this. I'm a grown man now, about to start his own family. I know exactly what I'm doing. Really? Are you sure? You don't want any money towards this. We can help if you need it. No, it's totally fine. I can handle it. I can stand on my own 2 feet now. I don't need my parents to help me pay. I knew you'd grow up to be a real man. I brought you up to be a guy who can look after himself. That's right, Dad. You raised me well. I remember all the lessons you taught me as a child, especially about finance and being a provider. Thanks to you, I'm the man that I am today. Where would I be without you? Oh, it's nothing, son. No need to thank me. By the way, your future wife said she wants to talk to me sometime soon. Do you know what this is about? You two aren't having any problems, are you? She seemed a little flustered by something. She wants to talk to you? Is that what she said? That's right, she just contacted me all of a sudden and said she has something important to discuss. I presume she's already talked about whatever it is with you?
I'm not so sure, to be honest. Maybe I should talk to her and see what it is. You contacted my dad? What did you do that for?
Oh, you've already spoken to your father about it? That was quick. I haven't even had time to speak with him. I just told him I wanted to talk. I thought he was going to keep it a secret, but it seems that isn't the case.
Well, what do you want to talk to him about? And why didn't you talk to me about it first? He just suddenly brought it up today. He told me that you wanted to talk to him. Is that true? I had no idea what he was talking about.
I just wanted to talk to him because I'm about to become his daughter-in-law. I wanted to see if there was anything I was supposed to do in my new role. I'm joining your family, so I didn't want any surprises. I think it's normal to do this before a wedding.
Is that it? Is that all you wanted to talk about? Are you sure that there isn't something else?
What more could there be?
Maybe something to do with the house? Or something to do with borrowing money?
Okay, I'll be straight with you. I may have been planning to ask him something along those lines. You know I'm not from a rich family. I just think it's a waste that you have wealthy parents and you're not going to ask them to help you. They could really help us out when it comes to buying the house. I don't think it's anything to be embarrassed of. What's the point in a silver spoon if you're not going to eat with it?
I think my dad has already done enough for me. I don't think I need to ask him for more.
Why can't he help you out one last time? This can be his final act before you start your own family.
No, I don't want you even talking about this with him. Promise me that you won't. In fact, why don't you just cancel the meeting you have? You're gonna really make me mad if you just keep going on like this.
Lighten up, it's not that bad. Don't you think you're overreacting? How can this make you so mad? It really won't be much of a burden to your parents. They are rich. It'll be nothing to them, I'm sure.
It's not just about the burden it'll cause them, it's about the principle. I don't want to go back to my parents and ask for more money. I am a grown man and I don't need their help anymore. It'll be a burden on me to pay for all of this stuff, but I know I can do it. I'd rather it be a burden on me than on my parents. We can easily get married and start a family life. We just need to live within our means. As long as we spend wisely, we will be able to do this by ourselves. We've already talked this over and I thought you agreed. There's certainly no need to go begging from my parents.
Hey, you there?
Oh, hi, what's up?
Something really bad happened. I'm gonna be in huge trouble if you don't help me. I lost a lot of money. I'm in debt to some scary people. The total amount is $20,000. Please don't tell anyone about this. A lot of the people involved are doing illegal things, so it could get me in danger. You never know who's connected to who. I just hope I can get out of this.
What happened?
It was all because of my job. You came to the bar I work at once, remember? It's a sports bar. I've been working for my boss since right out of high school, and he's like my uncle or something. He's always been there for me, you know? Last week he told me the bar had some expenses that needed to be covered right away, but he was short on cash. He wanted me to lend him the money for just a few weeks. I didn't want to at first, but it was my boss. Paul never asked me for money before, and he sounded like he really needed it. I trusted him and I felt I couldn't say no. He'd lent me money before too, so how could I turn him down? I was worried that I might lose my job if I didn't go along with it. So I lent him the money, but then the next day he wouldn't answer my text or phone calls, and he hasn't come into work either. He just took off and disappeared. I didn't know what to do, so I went into work, and that's when some scary men came to the bar and told me they were looking for Paul. They didn't threaten me, but they told me not to call the police or tell them anything if they asked. They told me to call if Paul came back. It was so scary. They told me he owed a lot of money for some big bet he'd lost. I guess he was doing a lot of sports gambling. I really don't know anything about that stuff. He took my money, and now who knows where he's gone. Maybe he used my money then ran off so he didn't have to pay me back.
Are you telling me that he took $20,000 from you and then just disappeared? Do you know where he might have gone?
No idea. He could have left the country for all I know. Maybe I'll never see that money again. I'm literally broke now. I've got almost nothing left. What am I gonna do? I'm in a living hell right now. How am I gonna tell my family that I lost all that money? What would they think of me? I'm so depressed, I think I might have to go to a doctor. Every time I think I'm okay, I'm suddenly reminded of that money and I just feel so bad again. But maybe there is someone who can help me.
Who?
Maybe you? I know you got a lot of money. Couldn't you help me out? Maybe just give me a bit of cash? I'm sure in time I'll get that money back, but right now I've got nothing and there are so many expenses. Maybe you could give me some just to see me through this bad time.
I'd love to help you, I really would, but I don't actually have that much myself. The wedding is coming up and I'm really short for cash. I don't really have anything to give you.
Not even just once? Not even just a little bit of cash to get me through to next month? I literally don't even have money for food next week.
Maybe I could lend you a little bit of money. I wouldn't want you to be completely broke. What's your account? Is it the same as last time?
Yes, it is.
I'll send you a little bit of money over.
Thanks so much. You're really saving me here.
Hey, are you there? Where are you? Why won't you reply to me? Hey, I can't get in contact with your sister. Do you know what's going on with her?
Mary? Yeah, she's disappeared into thin air. I don't know all the details, but she's on the run. She's always talked about going island hopping in the Caribbean, so that's my best guess as to where she is now. Her boss told me she emptied the cash register when she was closing and just disappeared into the night.
What? You talked to his boss?
Of course, my mom and dad were worried when she wasn't answering their calls, so I went to the bar she works at. It's a sports bar. I've known her boss, Paul, for years.
Yeah, Paul. Mary mentioned him. I met him for a second when we went there too. He seemed like a nice guy.
Too nice for his own good. I guess that's why Mary did it. Paul told me he's not calling the police on her because he believes she'll come back eventually. He says she must have had a reason and he just hopes she's all right. The man is a sweetheart.
Wow, that is really generous of him, but aren't you worried about what Mary's up to? I mean, she stole from her workplace and disappeared, right?
She's 25. She can take care of herself. She's always been spontaneous, but she's a smart girl. She knows what she can get away with.
What about your mom and dad? They must be worried sick.
Not really. They're concerned, but there's no reason to think she's in danger or anything. She's probably just blowing off some steam. She's always pushed the boundaries a little when it comes to men and money. Paul's just one example.
What do you mean?
I mean, they had a thing, obviously. She had him wrapped around her little finger since he's married and all. She was friendly with his kids and everything.
Oh, wow, I had no idea. You're okay with stuff like that? Didn't you advise your sister against that kind of relationship?
She wouldn't listen anyway, but she wasn't with him for too long. She told me she was dating some younger guys at the bar lately. Maybe one of them asked her on a vacation and she needed some quick cash. That sounds like something that Mary would do.
Some guy invites her on vacation and she just steals money from her workplace, then just disappears? That sounds crazy to me.
I don't know. I'm just guessing. She doesn't tell me everything she has going on in her life. But to be honest, it's probably something to do with a guy. We'll see when she comes back.
I can't believe you're so relaxed about this. She has basically committed a crime on the run.
It's not that big of a deal. It's not like she's even in real trouble yet. We'll just have to be supportive of her when she gets back. She's family. Of course, we're worried she'll get hurt on one of her wild escapades, but there's not much we can do about it.
I suppose so. I hope you hear from her soon. I still think your parents must be feeling horrible. Shouldn't we visit them?
They're okay. They're used to Mary going off the rails once in a while. We'll plan a visit soon. Maybe Mary will be back by then, though.
Hopefully.
Why did you want to get in contact with her anyway?
I just need to talk to her about something.
Okay, well, hopefully we'll find her soon. I'm sure she's okay. Maybe she just wanted to be alone for a while. I'm sure there is a perfectly reasonable explanation for all of this. No need to worry. Oh, by the way, have you paid the money for our house? We need to pay the deposit by tomorrow. You didn't forget, did you?
No. I know to do that. I remembered.
I have really compromised with you about this house. You know I wanted something better for us. Something that suits my needs. Well, I have accepted your proposal, but I'm not prepared to go any lower. I want something nice to live in, so don't disappoint me. As for the wedding, I'm hoping you can buy me a luxury bag too, and maybe one for my mother. She likes luxurious things, and she'd be so happy if you got one for her. And what about a car? Do you have enough money for that? We could buy a nice Mercedes or something similar. I would be so disappointed if you can't buy all these things. I'd be heartbroken. Women need expensive things.
Wait a moment.
What is it?
We just need a little time to think. I think you're moving too fast with all of this. Your expectations are way too high. I'm worried that if the slightest thing goes wrong, then you're gonna feel really bad.
What do you mean? We've had this planned out for months. You can't change your mind now.
It's just something has come up. I'm just feeling all confused right now. I think we might need to postpone the wedding or something like that.
What are you talking about? Why would we need to do that?
Just wait for a short while, okay? I just need some time to think and get my thoughts together. I'll contact you soon. Don't worry, just wait for me.
Hey baby, I was in the city today having a coffee and now I've got some free time. I'm just outside your work. Why don't you come on down and see me for a while? I'm sure you can make time for me. Come and talk to me. Baby, are you there? Why didn't you read my messages? What are you doing? You haven't replied to me at all. I'm worried. I'm outside your house now. Where are you? I know you said you need some time to think, but can't you talk with me too? I'm really worried about you. If you don't want to meet me face to face, then at least let's have a phone call. Get back to me as soon as possible. If there's a problem, then you can tell me. We can talk about it together. We can get through this. I know we can. We have a special bond between us. Is this about the house? Is it really causing you that much stress? Get back to me, please.
You there?
Oh my gosh, you finally got back to me. What took you so long? I was so worried. How could you treat me like that? What's wrong with you? We're supposed to be getting married soon. What's going on? Just tell me. Do you have some sort of secret or something?
I'm sorry, I need to talk to you about something.
What is it? What's the problem?
Okay, I'll tell you, but I don't know how you're gonna react. Sit down, this might shock you. A while back, your sister came to me and told me she had a problem. She said there was some kind of money problem and she needed to borrow some money from me. She told me that she'd be in a lot of trouble if she didn't get some money soon. She wanted to borrow $20,000. After a little bit of discussion, I decided to give her the money.
She did what? Oh my lord, I can't believe it. That's so much money. Is this why you weren't responding to my text? Because you didn't know how to tell me?
Actually, no, it wasn't the reason. I just did some thinking and maybe I'm making a mistake. I'm sorry, but I don't think that we should get married.
What, because of Mary? That's so not fair. What she did has nothing to do with me. I'm sorry she did that, but I'm sure I can get her to pay you back eventually. Why would you throw away our whole future together just because of one little thing like that? You said you loved me. I've been talking to everyone about my wedding plans. I'm gonna look like an idiot.
It's not because of Mary. Of course it's also a factor, but it's not the main one.
So what is it then?
You've been working for 10 years or so now, and you've barely managed to save any money. What have you been doing with your life? Where has all your money gone?
What do you mean? I've been paying for myself. It went to living expenses and going out.
I know you have an okay job, so why haven't you managed to save anything? Where did all your money go? You're always talking about luxury, but you've got no money. Don't you think it's a little bit stupid?
How can you say that? It just costs more to be a girl. You think it's cheap to look like this? I spend money on myself because it's a necessity. I didn't save any money because I was investing it in myself.
Clothes, makeup, and expensive clothes are an investment?
Of course. How do you not get that? If you didn't like how I looked, you wouldn't have asked me to marry you to begin with, right?
And now you expect me to pay for everything? I just don't think that we would be able to have a good future together with you expecting me to provide so much for you. Especially when you don't even plan to work at all. I want a family too, but I can't handle all that pressure. Your expectations of a luxurious lifestyle really scare me. You call me a rich guy all the time, but that's not even true. I can understand if it was something like a house or food, but luxury bags? Why should I have to pay for that? Ever since we started talking about marriage, you've been going on about first class this and luxury that. You want the most expensive option every time.
So you want to break up because I don't have money saved up? You're mad because I want to take care of myself and our kids when I get married? You're gonna leave me because of this? What do you expect me to do? I told you I wanted to have a baby as soon as we get married. How can I go out and work if I'm looking after the baby? All of my friends have got married already. A lot of them stay at home while their husband goes to work. It's normal, especially if the family has children. I don't know why you have a problem with this.
A lot of the time it just feels like you're marrying me for money. You keep coming out with a list of things you want me to buy.
Of course there's a lot of things to buy if we're getting married and moving in together. You're supposed to be a provider. This is all totally normal stuff. The woman stays at home looking after the house and the man goes out to work. And I am expensive. If you want a good-looking girl like me, then you have to be prepared to pay the price. I haven't even got anything from you yet, so don't go talking like I'm a gold digger. This is all about that money with my sister, isn't it? Why should my life be ruined because of what she did? Why did you even give her the money in the first place? Are you hiding something from me?
No, it's not that. It's not because of her. I was trying to be helpful and I gave her money. I know I was stupid. That's not why I want to break up.
We've been together for almost a year and I've been so loyal to you. How can you throw it away like this? Haven't I been a great girlfriend? You asked to marry me because you thought I'd be a good wife, right? I really look after myself and respect my man. I made sure I looked nice and cooked your favorite foods. And you're insisting that I go out and work after we get married? How can I look after myself properly if I have to do that?
I'm not insisting. I just don't think it makes sense that I'm 100% responsible for providing for the household. I understand that there are certain roles only a woman can play in raising a child, but house chores and taking care of child can also be shared responsibilities.
We don't have to worry about that now. Maybe you'll get a promotion soon and none of this would be an issue. We should just get married and make it work. You're just getting nervous.
No, I've thought about it a lot, and I'm sure we're not going to have a happy married life.
What makes you so sure? I've been a great girlfriend. You said so yourself.
It's about values and what makes you happy. If at every turn in life you want expensive stuff, it sounds like only money makes you happy. You'll always be wanting more, and that means you'll never be happy. I don't want to live life like that. I want to enjoy the regular things in life, have a stable home and family life. I don't see that with you.
That's the same thing as me wanting to be a housewife for you and our unborn children. That's stability. My friends are always sharing photos of their babies and having mommy lunches.
There's another thing. Everything you want seems to project an image to your friends or on social media. You want a nice wedding to show them, not for us. I just feel like everything we discussed was so superficial.
Weddings are like that. That doesn't have anything to do with our marriage.
My mind is made up, so I guess if you just don't see my reasoning, we'll just end it at that.
You know this is going to be the worst thing ever I'm going to have to announce to my friends. Everybody knows we're getting married. It's going to be so embarrassing to tell people. And with no real reason.
I'm sorry, but I think it's better that we call it off now than have a messy divorce later, especially with kids and stuff. We'll just go our separate ways. I wish you the best, okay?
No, I'm not letting this just end like this. We were together for almost a year. I'm 28, you know. You think you can just ask someone to marry you and then dump them after everything is set in place? I'm gonna sue you for this. You can't get away with treating me like this.
Sue me? Seriously?
Yeah, people do it all the time. Canceling a wedding is a huge deal. I think maybe $30,000 will be enough. If you don't pay me the money, I'll get a lawyer, and the amount will go up to $50,000.
What are you even talking about? Where are you getting these numbers? That is way more than the wedding was going to cost. It's crazy.
The emotional damage is something I should be compensated for. This is nothing. You should watch the news more. People break up and sue all the time.
I don't really care about what celebrity gossip columns say. That's not really relevant to our lives. In reality, I'm the one that paid for the down payments of the wedding hall and the wedding planner, so that's the money that would be relevant in this case.
Women that get dumped for no reason sue all the time. I'm gonna get what I can out of this breakup, so be prepared. It would be super unfair if my sister ended up getting more money from you than I did. How ironic is that?
Wow, I guess you're finally showing your true colors. You are exactly like your sister. You're both materialistic and only want to use men for their money. I can't believe I was fooled by both of you. I'm just glad I noticed before we got married. Do whatever you want. Talk to a lawyer for all I care. I doubt you'll be able to sue me for anything, but if I end up having to pay you some money, so be it. Anything I end up having to pay you will be worth it.
How could you say that to me? That's abuse. I'm gonna show my lawyer all your texts. And don't compare me with my sister. We both had a really tough upbringing and doing our best in life. You can't criticize that.
People have different upbringings, and I know your family had it tougher than mine, but that doesn't give you the right to use me for money. You basically want someone to provide for you financially and have no intention to work, and still have the nerve to complain about things not meeting your high standards.
I just want what I want. What is wrong with that? I thought you liked my attitude. Anyway, it's fine. You're obviously not going to be a good husband like I thought, so we're done. I'll tell my friends you tried to con me even though you were broke, and of course sue you for everything I can get. And forget about Mary too. If you're done with me, you're done with her.
No. She stole from me and took off. I am talking to the police about it this afternoon. I am sure they'll be able to help me. Mary's no master criminal. She's just a brat that kept getting away with bad deeds. They'll find her and probably put her in jail.
What? You can't do that. We were engaged when you lent her that money. Family members can't call the police for things like that. I've never heard of anything so ridiculous. I swear, leave my sister alone. She's got lots of friends you don't want to meet.
Is that another threat? I can't believe I was with you all this time and didn't realize what kind of person you are. If it was a couple of $100s, I would probably just let it go, but $20,000 is a lot of money. I've already made the appointment with the police to go in, so you should probably tell your parents. The police will probably want to talk to them too.
You are such a scumbag. Fine, I'll just use the money you pay me as compensation to pay back Mary's debt. So 50,000 minus 20,000 is 30,000. Just give me that and we'll call it even.
Nice try. Why don't you talk to your lawyer about that and have them call mine? It's no use discussing this further between the two of us. Goodbye. Please don't contact me anymore.
Wait!
I blocked Haley's number and went to the police station to make a formal statement immediately after. They ended up finding Mary living at some guy's house here in the city, so she was picked up by the police within a few days. It ended up being far more complicated because there were multiple claims from men saying essentially the same thing. She had lied and stolen from all of us. It's a whole class action suit, so I haven't gotten my money back yet, but it looks like Mary will be charged with fraud. Haley apparently did talk to a lawyer, but I never heard from anyone. I guess no one was willing to take on a case that had no merit. This combined experience with the crazy sisters has really put me off from dating, at least for the time being. I'm just glad I noticed where things were headed when I did, and hopefully, I've grown as a person and I won't make the same mistakes again.
Natalie, where do you think you went off to? I need a word with you, you uneducated, shameless pig! I didn't like your attitude at the dinner table tonight. Come and talk to me in person now and tell me why you acted the way you did. Why aren't you at the house?
Hi, Shirley. Sorry, I had to leave the house to get some fresh air.
Well, come back right now. I'm not waiting for you all night, young lady.
Okay, well, Pete's with me, and we'll both be back in about half an hour.
Did you both take off? Why did my son have to go with you, huh? He should be here spending the night with his brother and his girlfriend.
Sure, we'll be there soon.
What do you expect me to tell David and Emma then?
Do you mean about why me and Pete left the house?
Yes, what else?
Well, can you just tell them that I felt a bit queasy, so my husband and I decided to step out?
Oh, you're such a nuisance. Do you ever stop thinking only about yourself, Natalie? I honestly don't know why I invited you over to my house tonight. I should have never invited you. It should have just been Pete.
Well, David is Pete's brother, and I wanted to meet his new girlfriend too. That was the whole point, wasn't it?
Yes, but what difference would it have made if you were here or not? Everyone would have gotten along fine and probably better without you being here.
Sorry, I didn't mean to come across as rude, Shirley. I just didn't feel well, and I'm sorry about that.
You didn't feel well. Yeah, right. I can see right through your lies, Natalie. You just didn't like David's new girlfriend because you felt small and inferior to her.
What do you mean?
Well, isn't that obvious? Look at her. She's from an Ivy League college. She works at a huge company, and on top of that, she's beautiful and smart. I mean, look at the gleaming confidence in her. She has everything that you don't have, and you never will.
Is that what you think, Shirley? Because that's not how I feel. I honestly just didn't feel well. And again, I'm sorry that I had to leave like that abruptly.
See, you're lying to me again. When we were talking and she asked you questions about you out of politeness, you avoided eye contact and dodged all of her questions. You didn't answer anything about your childhood, family, or your job and whatever else she asked you. I've never seen such a rude attitude like that in my life.
Okay, well listen, I'm sorry that you felt that way. Anyway, Pete and I will be there in a few minutes. We're just walking past Bean's Cafe.
All right. Then be a good daughter-in-law and get us some nice desserts for us, will you? Get me those cheesecakes that I like with the strawberry jam on top. And then get the chocolate fudge brownies and custard donuts. That should be enough desserts for the three of us. And if you want anything, go and get your own, but you're not having any of those things I just ordered. Those are for me, David, and Emma. And don't think that I'm paying for them either. Those are on you.
So I'm buying you guys your desserts and bringing them back now.
Yes, that's the least you can do for leaving the dinner table the way you did.
All right, Shirley, we'll go and get them. See you back at the house in a few minutes then.
Where did you disappear off to now, Natalie? Do you think that you can just leave in the middle of a family gathering like that? This is the second time tonight you stormed off like that. What the hell is wrong with you?
Shirley, I can't take it anymore. I don't understand why you have to be so rude to me like that.
What are you talking about now? When was I rude to you?
You know you were rude to me. You can't deny it, and everyone heard it.
Well, explain to me what you're referring to.
First of all, I brought you back those cakes that you said you wanted for dessert, and you snatched them off of me and didn't even serve mine on my plate. But for everyone else, you did. Pete even saw that, and even after he mentioned it to you, you just denied it.
What? You expect to be treated like you're someone special when you just stormed off in the middle of dinner like you did.
I told you I didn't feel well. I had to rush outside, otherwise I would have thrown up or something.
Well, that's not what it looked like. How was I supposed to know?
But that doesn't mean that you had to be horrible to me like the way you were. And then those questions that you asked Emma? You asked those specific questions on purpose, didn't you? You did that to embarrass me in front of her and everyone. Why did you have to do that?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Natalie. What exactly do you think I said that was rude? Everything I said and asked was within reason. So stop overthinking everything like you always do.
I'm not though, am I? Why did you have to ask me what my degree was when you know that I didn't go to college? Why did you have to emphasize the fact that I didn't get my GED? And about my job, you practically called me a recluse without knowing what I do for a living. Why do you have to be such a cow?
Well, excuse me, but everything I said in that conversation was nothing but the truth. And so what if I asked you about your education? It's not my fault that you don't have anything that you can be proud of, is it?
But you know everything, and yet you had to dig it in front of everyone. You love to put me down all the time, regardless of who it's in front of, and I'm sick of it.
Oh, stop being so dramatic. You're always overthinking things, Natalie. Just get over yourself. No one cares but you.
Of course I do, because you're being so horrible to me.
Well, then why don't you try and do better so you can make me proud to have you as my daughter-in-law, hey?
Why am I just never good enough for you?
Oh, please, cut it out. I don't want to hear some desperate plea for acceptance and validation. If you don't feel like you belong in this family, then it's probably because you don't. So feel free to leave this family, Natalie.
What? And what's that supposed to mean?
You know what I mean, Natalie. You don't need me to spell it out.
No, tell me. I want to hear it from you. I'm sick of trying to make you happy all the time when I know that nothing is ever good enough for you. Tell me what you want me to do.
Fine, Natalie. If you're so keen to make me happy, then I'll tell you exactly what'll make me happy. Get a divorce. I don't want you and Pete together. He's my youngest son, and he deserves better than an uneducated, ugly, useless woman like you. I honestly have no idea what he sees in you anyway. There, that's what'll make me happy.
Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that to me. Is that what you really want? Is that what'll make you happy?
Quite frankly, if you really will divorce Pete, then I can't wait. I can't wait to have my in-laws full of great people, especially now that David seems to have a beautiful and intelligent girlfriend now.
Oh, you think she's beautiful and intelligent? What do you know about her?
And what do you know about her? You only met her today.
That's what you think.
Huh? What do you mean? You and Emma only met tonight, didn't you?
Sure, you can keep thinking that.
What is this nonsense? What do you think you're playing at?
Never mind, Shirley.
Whatever game you think you're playing at, Natalie, I don't want to hear it. I don't know where you've gone now for the second time. But if you dare disappear again and be rude like you've been throughout this entire night, then I'm telling Pete to divorce you.
So is that a threat now? Are you threatening me to kick me out of your family?
That's right. I said it all right and you had it coming.
Why would I have to ever divorce Pete?
Like I said already, he deserves better than you. Pete might have been the first to get married between him and his brother, but he sure made a mistake about that.
And what's that supposed to mean?
Him and David have always been competitive with each other. Ever since they were little, it was always about who could do things first and win. I bet Pete rushed into his marriage thinking that he'll win over his brother. And because he rushed into it, he sure made the wrong choice in choosing you as his wife. He couldn't have chosen a more pathetic, uneducated woman, could he? Look at you. What good are you?
What good am I? Did you really just say that to me, Shirley?
Yes, I did. What good are you to Pete? Or this family, huh? You don't have a GED. You don't have a career. You're not intelligent or have the looks. What are you, eh? What good do you bring to this family? What purpose do you have here?
Oh my God, wow, Shirley. I don't know what makes you think you have the right to say all of these things to me. What about you? You're a mother to 2 sons, one of who I'm married to, and what? What good do you think you bring here?
I'm their mother. That's not even what you should be asking me here. You clearly aren't smart enough to even be asking the right questions. I birthed them, and you married my son. This is exactly why I don't want someone who hasn't even been to college to join my family. It ruins our reputation, and my poor son Pete, he shouldn't be hanging around a stupid woman like you. And that's why you need to divorce him so that he can live a better life, and one that you clearly can't give him.
Oh my God, wow. If you really think that academic background matters so much, then I think you're the one with the problem here, Shirley. What is your obsession with it? How can you judge people based on which college they went to?
Because that's an important and most reliable way to measure someone's intelligence, isn't it?
And which college did you go to? What makes you think you're so special?
Oh, I went to Brown University in Rhode Island. A private Ivy League university. So I do have the right to determine people's intelligence based on their academic achievements, thank you.
Well, good for you, Shirley, good for you. It's great to know where your morals lie then.
This is just a case of you being a sore loser and not being able to accept other people's successes and feeling inferior to those who are better than you.
No, it's not. I just don't think it's right to judge people based on which university they went to. Or whether they have a GED or not.
Again, this is just a sore loser's talk and I don't have time for it. Listen, just go home now. You're outside, so you might as well not bother coming back here. Turn around and go home. Call it a night and we'll handle the rest here. Emma's here with me and she's doing a great job with cleaning up after the dinner that you so abruptly left us with.
I bought you guys dessert.
So, you thought that'd make up for it. You only got those because I told you to.
Fine, I have my coat and bag with me anyway. Thanks for the dinner then, Shirley. Please tell Pete that I've gone back home.
Good. Now that you're gone, my night is about to start, and it's going to be a fun one without you. That's for sure.
Hi, Natalie. Wasn't it fun last night? Hope you had fun at Shirley's dinner as much as I did. You disappeared off somewhere a few times, though. What was that about? Did you have stomach issues or something? I hope not, because everything that was served on the table were dishes that me and Shirley made. It should have tasted great.
Hi, Emma. Sure, the food was great.
Right. I'm awesome at cooking. It's too bad that dessert was store-bought, though. Oh, wait. You bought those at that cafe last night, right? Beans Cafe or something, wasn't it?
Yes, I did get those for us.
Whoops. Then I didn't mean to say that then.
Sure you didn't. I would have made dessert, but Shirley never wants me to stand in her kitchen, so I didn't have much of a choice.
Oh, I heard. Apparently you make a huge mess. Well, it's a good thing that at least one of her daughter-in-laws is good at working around the kitchen, right?
You're not her daughter-in-law, though, Emma. You're just dating David, right?
Sure, but it's only a matter of time until I do become a daughter-in-law, isn't it?
Right. Well, either way, I had no idea that we'd ever see each other again like this. Especially not as potential sister-in-laws.
Oh, tell me about it. I actually knew about you being Pete's wife as soon as I started seeing David.
You did?
Yeah. One time David mentioned Pete and showed me pictures and you happened to be in them. Then I found out that you're married to my boyfriend's brother. What a small world, right?
Yeah. I have a question. Is this relationship with David serious?
Are you kidding me? Of course it's serious. I'm totally in it for real here. I'm just waiting for David to propose to me.
And how long have you been seeing each other for?
Oh, maybe like 6 months or something.
Oh, wow. And I only found out about it now, huh?
Yeah, I told him to keep it on the down low until I was ready for you to know who I was. And it kind of worked out, right? Isn't this a great surprise?
Yeah, sure it is.
Oh, come on, Natalie. Why do you sound like that? You can act a bit happier than that to see me, right? We might just be sister-in-laws sooner than you think, you know? We've got to get along, right?
Well, it definitely makes it hard to want to be family with you after all you did to me in high school.
I knew you'd bring that up, and actually I'm glad you did. Because listen, what happened in the past is in the past, okay? Why don't we call it water under the bridge now?
You mean you want to forget about how you used to bully me and make fun of me and humiliate me in front of everyone? You want me to forget the fact that you were the reason why I quit going to high school and couldn't get my GED? The amount of times you stole my notebooks and textbooks and made me buy them from the teachers again and made me broke? The number of times you took my homework and submitted it as yours? The times when you pushed me in front of the class or forced me to put my hand up to answer the teacher's question and everything? You want me to forget that? And the times you used to corner me in the locker rooms to trash everything in my bag, including my wallet? You made my high school life a nightmare. And you want to call it water under the bridge.
Wow, you definitely brought back a lot of memories here, Natalie. Those were the good times, eh?
Good times? Are you kidding me?
Oh, come on. Of course I'm kidding. Be chill, Natalie. Let it go.
Let it go? How can I let this go? This is my worst nightmare. You haunted me back then and you're trying to torment me again. In fact, the reason why I left the house last night during the dinner was because I thought I was going to throw up. Just the thought of you being in my life again made me sick to my stomach.
Oh, so that's why you left. But really?
Yes. I needed to get some fresh air and to calm down.
Oh, wow. I can't believe how much of an effect I have on you. Should I be happy?
No. You're so evil. And you might think that that's all in the past, but you're still the same, Emma. I can tell by the way you were acting and talking at the dinner table.
What do you mean?
You were just boasting about how you went to an Ivy League college to suck up to Shirley.
Well, she went to Brown University, didn't she? We just had something in common to talk about. What's wrong with that? It sounds like you're the one who's jealous here.
I'm not. That doesn't even come close to how I'm feeling. I just never thought I'd see you again. Ever again. But now you're sucking up to my mother-in-law who I happen to not get on with. And you're back in my life. How much worse can this get?
Well, that's too bad, Natalie. I really thought that we could be mature about this and get along as adults.
Really? And is that why you asked about high school and my job and my family in front of everyone? Knowing the darn answers to that already?
Oh, what do you mean?
You know that I couldn't get my GED because I dropped out of high school. You know that I didn't go to college because of that. And you know that my family weren't the richest family or that I don't have a lucrative job. And yet you had to dig all of that in.
Oh, no. Oh, but that's right. I literally just remembered all of this. Natalie, I honestly didn't know at the time. I didn't know you were an artist in the making, okay? How's that going anyway?
Shut up. You only asked me about my job so that you can feel better about working for a huge company, didn't you? You asked me everything in front of Shirley on purpose to embarrass me.
Oh, come on now. You're being so dramatic, Natalie. I just want us to get along now, okay?
Well, you already got off on the wrong foot with me when you told Shirley about the huge amount of debt my parents were in and how poor we were.
Oh, but I thought she already knew about your family's background and financial situation. It's not my fault that she didn't know about that, okay?
You liar! You just want to be in her good books and make me look bad. I know you well enough by now, Emma.
Well, okay, fine. If you're going to be annoying like this, then I might as well not even try to be nice to you. Yeah, you're right. I was having fun with those questions over dinner, okay? I can't stand the thought of you ever being family, whether it was a distant sister-in-law or not. I want Shirley to hate you as much as I do. I want her to see you for who you really are. You don't deserve to be in this family. And who do you think you are anyway? You're just a poor loser who has nothing going on in her life but to cling on to someone as nice as Pete. I don't even know why a guy like Pete would ever think of getting married to you. You're just a waste of space.
How dare you say that about me? You don't even know me.
And you think you know me, do you?
I know that you're a spiteful, horrible big bully.
You'd better watch out, you stupid, pathetic bozo head. You'll see who's still the boss around here, and it ain't you.
Whatever, Emma. Say what you want and see if I care.
Hi, Natalie. How are you?
Hi, Emma. Fine. You?
Oh, I wasn't really asking you because I actually wanted to know how you were doing. I was just being polite. Anyway, did you hear about how Shirley's organizing a casual lunch at her house this weekend?
Yeah, she did tell me. I take it you're going, right?
Sure. I think she loved talking to me and having me around the other night for dinner so much that she felt she needed to invite me over again. So, actually, I'd say that this was organized specifically for me. So, of course, I'm going. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know that I'm making desserts so there's no need for you to bring anything. That's if you were planning to. Although I doubt that you're going to be that considerate and nice.
Sure. No, I was still thinking of what to bring with me, but since you're doing dessert, maybe I'll be in charge of drinks.
Good. I'm making apple pie, so anything that you think will go with that sounds fine.
Okay, sure.
Are you excited to see how our next casual lunch might go? Hopefully it'll be better than the dinner that we had last weekend, right?
Sure, you're gonna be there, so how can it go wrong?
Oh, I can feel the sarcasm there, Natalie. But I'll take it. At least we're both excited about it.
See you there, then.
Okie dokes. See you there, loser.
What the heck was in that dessert, Emma?
What the hell?
I said, what the heck was in that dessert?
Are you talking about my apple pie, Natalie? The one that everyone complimented me on?
Yeah, what the hell did you put in there? I'm asking you a question. So damn it, answer me.
Well, what would you expect to be inside an apple pie? And why are you asking me anyway? Or is this your weird, twisted way of asking me for the recipe?
The recipe? I'm asking because I just threw up.
What? Really?
Yes, I was in the toilet for the last 20 minutes just constantly throwing up. And I was too exhausted from it, I fell asleep and woke up. Only to throw up again.
Oh, wow. And are you blaming me and my apple pie for it?
Well, there's nothing else that I could think of that could have caused it. Shirley canceled the lunch last minute and she just invited all of us over to eat her apple pie and the coffee I brought with me. And I know there was nothing wrong with those coffee beans I got. I've bought coffee beans from that shop for years and they've never caused me this. But then your stupid apple pie shows up on the plate and I'm throwing up like I've never done before. It has to be your apple pie.
Well, that's really rude of you to accuse me like that just because you're feeling sick. It could have been something else that you ate in the morning before that.
No, ironically, I was too sick to eat anything this morning, knowing that I was going to be seeing you in the afternoon. I didn't have anything to eat. And the only thing I had was that darn apple pie with that custard. What did you do to it?
Well, you got me, Natalie. This is just what I wanted and I got it.
What? What the heck are you talking about?
Well, you were pretty rude to me the other day. I thought I might show you what you get when you're that rude to me.
What do you mean?
I found some moldy apples in my kitchen and I thought, what a waste to throw them away, right? Then I had a light bulb moment. And I thought, hey, why not make your apple pie with one of the moldy apples? And then use the good ones for the rest of us.
What the hell? You actually made mine with apples that went off.
Yep. Wasn't that just the best idea? That's what you get for calling me a bully and bringing back memories from the past like it mattered.
Oh my God. How could you do this to me? I think I'm going to throw up again.
Oh, that's probably what you call a nocebo effect.
A what?
Well, you know what a placebo effect is, right? You think something positive is taking effect when it's not and it's all just in your head? Well, the nocebo effect is the opposite. Something negative, like you throwing up, happens because you think it will. Except it's not happening with medicine, and it's all in your head, but still. It's something similar to that.
No, it's not all in my head, you idiot. You fed me rotten apples with mold on purpose to make me sick like this. Oh my God, I'm gonna throw up again.
There you go again. Listen, it's not like I used an entire apple that was rotten in your slice, okay? I just used half of it and the rest of it was fine. And yes, I did make 2 different apple pies and made sure that yours was the rotten one. So we're all fine and it's just you who deserves that slice. Call it a punishment for being rude or for just being you, the loser. No one likes you, not Shirley and not me. And you needed to know your place. Hello? Are you ignoring me because you think that'll make me mad? Because it's not working, Natalie. You're just being super dumb by ignoring me. Hello? You know what? Fine. Be like that. I don't give 2 hoots about you anyway. Have fun puking up the rest of it, you ugly cow.
Thanks to you, you pathetic, nasty piece of crap. I lost my baby.
Hi, Natalie. You do realize what time it is, right? It's what, like 8:30 in the morning? And I'm not in the mood for your shenanigans.
Do you think I give a damn about your mood, Emma? The doctor just confirmed that I had a miscarriage and it's your fault.
What now? Why are you with the doctor?
Because I was taken to one last night, you bozo head. I told you how I was throwing up. Pete came home and I was unconscious and he drove me to the hospital where I was taken straight into the ER.
Oh, wow, okay, and? Geez, you just ate something that had mold in it. Why did you have to end up in the ER?
Because I was pregnant, you nuthead. I was 6 weeks in and I was waiting for my first trimester to tell everyone about it. But thanks to you, I lost it.
What? How can you have lost the baby? First of all, no one knew you were pregnant and you really should have told us. Second of all, you can have a miscarriage over a bad apple, okay?
Yes, you can. The doctor told me that I passed the bacteria onto the baby and now it's gone. My baby is gone. And it's your fault, Emma. You did this.
What the heck? Shut up, Natalie! That's a huge accusation you're making and you really shouldn't be. This is so stupid.
Shut up. You're the one who decided to give me food poisoning with that apple pie that you made. You did it knowingly. You poisoned me on purpose. So that makes you at fault. No one else but you, Emma.
No, this is not on me, Natalie, so don't you dare go around blaming me for this. I'm not having this conversation with you.
You killed my baby, Emma. You've always been so horrible to me and you went as far as to kill my baby too? You murderer, I hate you. Natalie, I'm sorry to hear about your loss. You should have told me that you were pregnant. Hi, Shirley. What good would it have done if I told you? Would you have treated me differently? Is that what you're saying? Would you have never ganged up on me with Emma and saved my baby? What? What are you talking about? I had nothing to do with what happened to your miscarriage. Yes, you did. You just don't think you did. But you and Emma were both in on this together, weren't you? You both hated me. You both wanted me out. You even said yourself that you wanted me to divorce Pete. So you planned this together and made me suffer until I divorced Pete. That's ridiculous, Natalie. Where in the world did you come up with that idea from? That's totally absurd. No, it's not. You've always belittled me and you've always hated me just like Emma did. You knew my relationship with Emma, didn't you? No, of course not. I only found out recently. I don't believe you. How could you do this to me? This baby could have been your first grandchild. Of course I had nothing to do with this. I only found out that you and Emma went to the same high school last week at that dinner. All I did was take an interest in Emma since she's more on my level. You mean she meets your standards? Well, yes, you can put it like that. Look at her, she's gorgeous and smart. Who wouldn't want a daughter-in-law like that? Whatever, you keep judging people like that and then see where you get in life with that. I've never liked you for being so judgmental, but I always bit my tongue and turned the other cheek whenever you would say horrible things to me. But losing this baby is the last straw and I want nothing to do with you anymore. I'm done. What do you mean by that? It means that Pete and I are cutting you off and out of our lives for good. Well, don't be ridiculous. You can't involve Pete in this. He's my son. He's not going to cut me off just because his stupid wife says so, is he? Well, just you watch, because he will. Well, tell him to answer my calls and answer my texts. He's not picking up at all. Didn't I just tell you that that was because he's cutting you off? He's so mad at you right now. He's mad at both you and Emma for doing this to me. You lost our baby, and we're never going to forgive you for that. Okay, calm down now, Natalie. This was a huge accident, and I understand. We all do. You're still baffled with all of this going on. So take all the time you need to clear your head and your thoughts. Oh no, there's no need for that, Shirley. I've made up my mind about you a long time ago, and I was right all along. You're the worst person to have as a mother-in-law, and I never want anything to do with you ever again. Pete is on my side, and he can do what he wants, but he's with me right now, and he's done with you too. So you and Emma can both shove it and stay the heck away from us. Don't you dare think that I'll ever forgive you for this. Oh, now come on, Natalie. Don't get so emotional. This miscarriage must be awful, I can tell. But you can try again, right?
And why do you have to bring Pete down with you like this? Have you ever thought about how poor Pete might feel?
He's my husband, and he's wanted this baby more than I did, especially at the beginning. He was so excited about starting our own family, and you ruined it for him. So yes, I do know exactly how he feels.
Oh gosh, this is turning out to be more dramatic than I'd anticipated. Just tell him to answer my calls, all right?
He said he doesn't want anything to do with you. Take a hike, Shirley. Don't ever text me or call me again.
Natalie, it's me, Shirley. I'm with Emma right now, and listen, there's been a few misunderstandings here that we wanted to clear up, all right? Firstly, Pete still won't return my calls, and I take it he was serious about cutting me off.
Of course he was, and so was I. And we still stand by it, so I don't know why you're texting us when we clearly told you that we don't want anything to do with you anymore.
Well, can you please convince him to change his mind about that and just call me back, please? I can't lose my son like this, Natalie. Please understand that I had no part in your miscarriage. And listen, I spoke to Emma, and I don't know exactly what happened between the two of you at school, but she feels the same way, and she feels sorry too.
Sorry about what? Killing my baby?
Please don't put it like that. She's sorry for giving you the wrong piece of apple pie. She said she didn't know about the rotten apple.
How can she not know about it when she was the one who made it? She's clearly lying, and you're crazy if you believe her.
Listen, I don't know about the details, but she claims it was an accident, all right? Now, can you kids both make up and, more importantly, get my son Pete to talk to me? I'm his mother, and I want a word with him.
He's refusing to, and there's nothing I can do about that. And Shirley, please don't make me say this again. We really meant it when we said we don't want anything to do with you or Emma. Especially if she's going to marry David one day. I refuse to be related to her in any way. So do what you want, but so long as she's there, I'm never going to talk to you ever again.
Oh, for crying out loud, enough of this! Stop being so immature about this, Natalie. Let me talk to my other son.
I said no. You've never treated me nicely, and he's always despised you for that. You always judged me for my past and never tried to get to know me for who I am. And now, you've lost your first grandchild all because you favored your other son's girlfriend over me. I'll never forgive her for killing my baby, and you for being the worst mother-in-law who ever existed.
Please, don't make me beg you, Natalie. All I want to do is apologize to both you and my son and start off on a clean slate. And I really would like to get to know you, Natalie, all right? Forget the past. Why don't we try again, eh? Hello? Natalie? Natalie, answer me.
Natalie, it's me, Emma. Listen, I'm really sorry about what happened with the baby, all right? I honestly never thought that food poisoning could lead to a miscarriage. It was really an honest mistake. You've got to believe me. I swear if I could, I would take it all back. Heck, I would take everything back, all the way back to when we were at school. I would have never done the things I did or said the things I said to you, okay? Please talk to me, Natalie. David wants to break up with me over this, and I can't let that happen, so please, Natalie, talk to me. Natalie, I'm sorry.
So, I never got back to Shirley or Emma. They both kept sending me messages and left me a ton of voice messages, and I heard them all but never replied to them. I'm still trying to understand what happened and why all of this had to happen to me. All I did was fall in love with Pete, and we were finally pregnant. But his mom and his brother's girlfriend, who happened to be the bully who tormented me in high school, just judged me and hated me for it. Why did I have to lose my baby over this? I think it's gonna take me forever to understand and to get over this, if I ever will. I'm so glad that Pete is by my side throughout all of this. I wouldn't know what to do if I'd lost him too. And from what he tells me, apparently Emma had a lot of credit card debt that David didn't know about. and she was a huge spender, which David later found out about too. So now David is trying to break up with Emma while she refuses. David is a successful and good-looking guy, so who'd want to break up with a guy like that, right? But I know that he knows better than to stay with a witch like her, so I know that it's only a matter of time until he dumps her sorry behind. And if only Shirley could be more like her sons David and Pete and see me for who I am, then none of this would have happened. And in the same way, if only David could see through Emma and her horrible, mean personality too, this would have never happened. But I guess David was too much of a nice guy to be deceived by her. And Emma was too much of an actress who pretended to be a nice girl when she clearly wasn't. But what goes around will come around, and she'll have it coming when David breaks up with her. And as for Shirley, she won't be seeing her grandchild or her son Pete for a long time now, and it serves her right. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please like it and see you in the next one.